T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Trap Talk, Reptile Network, coolest reptile network in the world, episode 495. Monday nights, new breed on the block. Got Maddox Morphs. It's going down tonight for the Monarch Morph in the ball python game, or just in the ball python game, period. This is going to be a banger of an episode, but what is good, everyone? I'm your boy, MJ. If you're into keeping reptiles, especially the ball pythons, man, this is a segment you want to be following. Shout out to all the new breed on the block fans out there, and just shout out to all the support, plain and simple. But yeah, man, if you're into keeping the reptiles and want to learn more about the breeding side of things and how to sell snake and any of the stuff above, then hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, select all. You'll be reminded of every single podcast dropped here under this network 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. It's on fire. Okay. But seriously, I just want to say thank you for all the support, man. I got to say, I get mountains of love and support from so many people in the reptile industry, and I don't think I shout it out enough. And I just want to say thank you to everyone out there who comes to me, my DMs, or even in person when I'm out and about. But I just want to say thank you. Literally just means everything. That being said, if you're looking for exclusive content, if you want to get more out of what you see at each episode, you want to get more behind the scenes, or if you just want to network yourself with some of the best keepers in the reptile game, then do me a favor, click the very first link in the description below and join the Trap Talk Patreon family. As soon as you join the Patreon family, you get a link to the Discord, taps in with over 200 amazing reptile keepers, and we have an awesome Instagram group chat, which is just nothing but fun. Literally, it's fun. It's hilarious. Have a good time. Shout out to my Patreon members. You guys are my heart. I love you guys, my family. Then, please, early birds, I see you guys. I'm going to get to you guys in a minute. Shout out to my early birds. But, man, shout out to US ARC. We had an amazing time at the Reptile Talks event that was just over the weekend. Shout out to Rami, Armin, Jay Summers, those three for throwing such an awesome event. I do know just the event collecting tickets, they raised over $17,000 for US ARC. Okay, and last time I heard, I believe they raised over $30K at the US ARC auction, which was a freaking fun time, and it felt great. It was personable, and it was a great turnout. And shout out to anyone who went out there. I know I got one of my trappers, Alan, who was there. Bill Stiegel had an amazing talk. I wasn't there Sunday, but for sure, Bill took the cake in my heart, man. That guy killed it. And then Socrates flew in, also did a great job. Everyone did a good job. So shout out to those three guys again. And just please follow the Reptile Talks on Instagram. You're going to hear me talk a lot about it in the future because it is going to be an ongoing event, and it's different. I highly recommend you considering going to next year's. And again, you'll be hearing me talk about it, but just be, it's also a good way to meet some heavy hitters in the game, personable, like, not in a huge reptile show, just straight up. So yeah, shout out to the Reptile Talks and shout out to US ARC. That was amazing. I want to say tonight's episode, first and foremost, very thankful for tonight's sponsor, Mark Bailey from Mark Bailey Reptiles. Head over to his Morph market, Mark Bailey Reptiles. Be ready for that amazing, relevant ball python heat that you're about to be displayed on this man's Morph market account. And this is one of my biggest supporters. So thank you so much, Mark Bailey, and for honestly being a great mentor to not only me, but many others in the reptile industry. It really means a lot. Also, tonight's episode is brought to you by someone who's my favorite in the tree monitor game and the Chihuahua game. That's right. I'm in the gecko game because of this man right here, Brian Susan from SUNDOWN Reptiles. Seriously, follow this guy's content. If you are getting that itch to get into another species other than snakes, and you're thinking about the lizards, well, consider this guy's productions because it's awesome what he's doing. Tree monitors, abronia, okay, and a few species of geckos, high-end designer geckos, stuff you just don't see out there in the hobby. So shout out to Brian Susan, and also please go over to my other YouTube channel, the Trap Reptile Vlogs, and see that vlog I just did on his place. Next level. It's great. And that would really influence you to want to work with another species if you're not already. And listen, shout out to all the ball python keepers out there who are tapping into other species like tree monitors. I know Brett from Jersey Balls. I think I said that right. Yeah, the homie Brett. And then of course, Will Moros from Royal Constrictor. Listen, you know who Will Moros is. Anyway, shout to those guys and shout to the sponsor. All right, we're moving forward. I want to say also shout to Blake Exotic Feeders. Head over to Instagram and follow Blake's Instagram account at Blake Exotic Feeders and put in an order for next level organic grown quail. That's right. Implement your diet with quail, and it's going to be a game changer. I actually have something pretty awesome to report. I have a pretty big ball python. She's my biggest ball python. I haven't weighed her, but I do know when I got her from the guy I got her from, she was over 6,500 grams. She's a big girl, huge. Anyways, so she laid a clutch for me last year sometime, and I'm getting her back on her feet, and she's doing great. But I was like, damn, I have this large quail that definitely Mac Dre now, so I'm not feeding, not that I'm not feeding, but they're good. So I was like, I don't have no big snakes anymore. I do have a super dwarfer tick that is going to a homie, but it was just eating. So I was like, let me just see if this ball python will take this quail. Sure enough, dude, she smacked it, took it, and it was cool to see a ball python eat a quail. Also think, does it hurt to add another diet in the mix? Why? How does it hurt? I don't know. We'll talk about it tonight. But either way, shout out to the sponsor, Blake, from Blake Exotic Animal Feeders. Hit him up. Personally, go hit him up. Say that MJ from the Trap sent you, and he will save you hella money on shipping. He's taking care of people this year who are going straight to him. And you got to mention my name, and he'll hook you up fat. Last but not least, shout out to the chipper. Number one, COCO substrate in the game. Go to COCODO.com, type in TrapFam24, and get 24% off your order for the rest of the year. Shout out to Chris. Thank you so much for supporting the Trap. And thank you so much. I have 3 complete sheds on this side of my room right now that is all due to the chipper. My humidity is on point. So I'm very, very happy. You want to know who else is on point? Big E Top G. Villarino Reptiles never misses on a Monday night.
What up? What up? How's everybody doing?
Statistically, I'm more likely to miss a Monday night than you are. That's crazy.
I don't know about that.
Monday nights might belong. Monday nights might belong to Villarino in the future. I don't know. It seems that way. But what's good, bro?
Good, man. Chilling.
How was your weekend? You were vending, I saw.
We're vending in Jacksonville. Yeah.
How'd that go?
Not bad. Not bad. I'm just running low on animals, so got my first 2 clutches.
Nice.
And probably gonna hit one more show, and then probably skip a couple. Getting the coffers ready for the next round.
I was gonna say, aren't you kind of leaning towards not doing shows for a little bit because you have like a little bit of a break between hatchlings and what's available, or is it really just full gas from whenever throughout the whole year? Like, what do you?
No, it's all year. But I'm just a little low right now, so I'll probably do one more, and then skip a couple, and get ready for September. Before
I say what we should get ready for tonight's guest, because I'm excited. Belial's on the show, and when he's a low key guy, but he's also I've been conversating with this guy for at least over a year now. But there's mad people in the early chat. Some names I haven't seen in a minute. You want to say hi to some of the homies in the early chats or what?
Let's go.
Celtic Reptiles in the building. What is good? V Unit family, Trap Talk, Patreon member all day, every day. Colorfully Vulgar in the building. V Unit family, Trap Talk, Patreon member all day, every day. Derek Stacking. V Unit family, Trap Talk, Patreon member all day, every day. My favorite segment of my favorite podcast, Respect. What is up? V Unit Trappers. Dude, this is good homie right here, man. Another good dog. Kenneth Jordan. K. Jordan, the building, V Unit family, Trap Talk Patreon member. Still a banger of an episode. I feel like he had, one of the biggest ones I think I'll be talking about because I thought he killed it on that episode. I'm not gonna lie. And then also one of my favorite New Breed on the Block episodes, as far as females go, for sure. Just all around. I don't want to say females, but we don't have a lot of females come on. Krista holding it down.
She got her first clutch this week.
She got her first clutch. How did I know that, right? I think I knew that.
Yeah. Congratulations,
Krista. Neurofy Exotics, V Unit family, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day, and check out her episode. And my boy right here, Big Mike, 1776 Exotics, who's going to be tapping in with all of us in August. Can't wait to kick with Mike. Big time homie right there.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yep, original Trap Talk Patreon member. I appreciate you. And here's my young hitter right here, our young hitter, JD, Meteoric Serpents, holding it down. Really been holding it down. Please tap in on his Friday nights. Thank God it's Colubrids, and go to his YouTube channel and please subscribe. Get corrupted by his Colubrids and others. And we're gonna end in style with JD because I'm ready to rock and roll. Like I said, so much to be discussed tonight with somebody like the homie Belial because he's carrying some major heat, but just isn't loud about it. Like he just likes to stay, in the back and just kind of observe things. And, people who do that are normally doing that for a reason because they got something heavy. You know what I mean? So I don't know what you know about him and his Monarch game, but I think he was probably one of the first ones that made me have to pay attention to Monarch. I think because when that Monarch clown he made, right? Did you follow him when he made that?
He's the second person to hit the spot nose Monarch clown.
I can't remember who
was
that.
His?
I just know for him. I think Justin was the first one I ever saw.
Justin was first, and
then I saw
second,
him,
right?
and then he was shortly after that.
Yeah, shit, this dope animal, man.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's also to where, like, man, don't be mad at, don't hate the player, hate the game type of thing, man. Don't, it's what we look at that is what we're considering here. And I got to say, I'm excited to talk about the Monarch project. I know people in the chats are. So are you ready to bring the homie on or what?
Let's go.
All right, guys, let's do this. You know what that time is. It's that time to get your mind right. And it's time to stay hydrated for this new breed on the block. Episode 495 coming at you right now. Maddox Morphs. Let's go. Cheers.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, God love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
And we're live, episode 495. Belial from Maddox Morphs. What is good, Belial?
What's going on, gentlemen? MJ Emilio.
Yeah. Can you hear us okay, Emilio? He can't hear nothing. Normally, he's not slipping like this. Belial, I apologize for my homie.
No problem. You'll figure it out.
Emilio, you good? Can you hear us?
While Emilio's getting that together, I want to thank everybody for tapping in. Thanks to V Unit for coming out and supporting as well.
Dude, honestly, while Emilio's getting his stuff together, thank you so much for tapping in with us tonight. It's like I said, I know you've been doing your thing, you know what I mean? And you got people who are pretty heavy on social media as far as showing themselves. That's not really you, from what I understand, right? You like to be more low-key and just stacking your heat from what I see.
Yeah, I like to be in the shadows. I'm not one to be, out in the mainstream.
Right.
But I know it's good for the hobby, right? The more people that do these shows, it's better for the hobby and the morphs, and ball pythons or reptiles in general. So I welcome the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Milo,
it's not one I can turn down. It wasn't one I could turn down.
Biggie, can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we could. I mean, we could always hear you. I don't think you could hear us.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm having issues.
Hey, Emilio, Belial, Emilio.
Belial, what's up, man?
Nothing much.
Hey.
Welcome
Nice
to
to
the
meet
show.
you, bro.
Yeah, I think we're all broken up. We're good now. But yeah, we were just talking about how he's excited to be here, and we're excited to have him first and foremost.
Yeah.
He's been doing his thing, and really, you kind of just got put on the map with that spot nose Monarch clown that you made, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And how? Go ahead and tell us about that.
I got into it a while ago. I started Black Haters. What got me into the BPs, morph wise. I saw blackhead and blackhead hypos. So I'm hypo deep. I mean, I know we're switching back to the hypo gen. So luckily I'm hypo deep. That's what I started with.
All right.
Blackhead hypo stuff and inchy.
Hypo,
so,
huh? Wow.
Yeah. So
All right.
I saw everybody getting into the ultra mill, but early on I kind of wanted to find my own direction, right? Like I wanted to go in a different direction from everybody else. And then I saw Justin did a video on ball pythons aging, you know, the ones that age well or something. It was a couple years ago.
Okay.
One of the ball pythons you showed was the Monarch.
Right.
And it was over. I saw the burgundy deep rich contrast that it held. And it was over. So I bought in very early. I'm one of the people who started with the hets. And I know a lot of people getting away from the hets, but I'm gonna tell everyone it can pay off, right? You can hit those odds. It's not often, but you can hit those odds. So, you know, for years I was looking at tubs of normals, and it's rough. You don't really have motivation, but I hit. So I want to tell you that it's worth it for sure.
I mean, Bilal, what I'll tell you is that people that think that way, they better start changing their mind, because they're gonna have a bunch of triple heads and quad heads and shit, and some of them are gonna look normal, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Sure. Yep.
I'm used to it now.
Yeah, and also too, being someone who's low key, or just in general, your first few years of doing this, you don't really have a market to sell even stuff you don't have room for. Because I mean, yeah, sure, everyone wish they could have like space like Will, right, or Will Morrows, but that's not always the case. Like people can only do so much. So it is awesome to not only happen to find someone who wants the stuff that you can't keep or hold back, but that's also money you could reuse, right? But you know, it's so like I said, there's so many boxes that need to be checked, right, in order for things to kind of go to the point where you can kind of rely on snake productions. But even now today, even the people who rely on them are just people who've been doing it for 10 plus years. But for you, I'm curious, like because one thing for me, man, like no matter what kind of a person spending habits they have, you got to understand like what this hobby is, like, and to have someone spend X amount of money, thousands of dollars on a living reptile, like that's a certain individual, right? So for you, Belial, when did that become something that you were like, I think I'm built for this, you know, like what was influencing you to want to go ahead and get into like the investment side of ball pythons?
I would say more so I had a pretty good understanding of finances, right? My wife is kind of a finance guru, right? So I was trying to look for something to diversify a little bit our portfolio.
Okay.
And I have a love for reptiles, and it was one of those, you know, she got behind me, believed in me, was like, hey, if you feel like you can make this work, you know, I believe in you too. Let's do it. So I to be totally honest, I was hesitating. I mean, that's a lot to drop on some reptiles and change your mind on the back end. But like most of us, you know, we got that strong woman behind us that believes in us. She pushed me, was like, do it. So, you know, once that happened, I mean, you can't lose.
Yeah, I can never say shout out to the spouses and the other halves enough, because without that support, like I'm telling you, things are difficult, if not impossible, right? Because at some point you're going to get pulled away. And this is something that not only, if you do it the way we're talking tonight, is going to be big pocket spending, but we're talking time, bro. Like you got to put time into this. Like this is like, you know, they say in the plant game, you got to talk to your plants. It's the same shit in a way, man. Like these animals need that kind of attention. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to look for things. Emilio would be the first one to tell you how he's so comfortable using his eyes at when looks like, okay, she looks big. She looks like she's ready to go. Or, you know, obviously the most common thing that you want to see as a first-time breeder is an ovulation, right? You know how many motherfuckers think they're looking at ovulation and it's a rat that they just fed the snake like a week ago. And it's like, yo, like, you know what I mean? Like you got to pay attention, because, you know, we all know you once you see a real ovulation for the first time, you don't miss it. Like that's something you don't forget, right?
No, for sure. And I was that person. You know, I'm reading all the ball python stuff. Oh, I think I see this. I think I see that. When you open that tub and see it, it's way beyond what you think it could be.
Yeah.
And I started off that way, right? I didn't want to get the ultrasound and things like that early on. I wanted to learn, right? Like the others had to learn, see the signs, see my snakes, what they were doing. So I just ordered an ultrasound this year. I was working without one the whole time because I wanted to be able to, you know, feel things and see the snake look at behavior, so I can tell the snake's behaviors if they eating more, when they stop eating, things like that. I wanted to learn, like the old school breeders learn.
What am I going to learn, man? Like, here I have somebody up and coming in the game, another homie getting a ultrasound before I've gotten one. I've been saying I'm trying to get one for like the last 3 years, but then every time I'm like ready to check out, I'm like, damn.
So MJ, I think you'll love it, MJ.
I know.
Look, man, it doesn't get more old school than me, right?
Yeah,
it does, but it doesn't. I was talking mad shit about ultrasounds on lives like 18 months ago, maybe 20 months ago, and bro, I fucking love that shit.
Yeah, and I think I know it'd be game changing even with ball pythons, but just imagine with the tree monitors and all the other shit. Like I got people who are successful with these other species because they ultrasound and they know what's happening. And when you can know what's happening with inside an animal, it's okay. That's like, that's like breaking codes right there. You know what I'm saying? And I always say like having something like that on your resume, like you could ultrasound shit. That's pretty fucking sick too. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm about to suit one. With the topic of ultrasound, which one did you go with, Belial?
I went with I reached out to Straight Fire.
Oh, shout out to Vance.
Levance. I hit Levance up, because a couple people recommended the Contact one that's on Amazon. But I wanted to, I try to get somewhere mid grade so I don't have to go back too soon. I try to, go mid rather than low. And Levance told me to reach out to Breeder Circle.
Yeah.
So I went to Breeder Circle and got that with the foot pedal and the whole, I said, if I'm going to do it, I might as well do it. And if the foot pedal helped me be quicker, then I'll do it. And that was the whole reason for me to get the ultrasound. So it wasn't just because I wanted to do it. So I feel you. I didn't want to drop that money either, for the ultrasound. But the animals aren't here. They're at another property that we have.
Okay.
So the stress, with work and family, I put family first. Which is hard in this business. But I mean, respect to you too, because I see what you do with your son. It's a sacrifice, right? So, but with that, I wanted to be able to do what I have to do and get back, and not try to barter my time between family and the snakes, right? The snakes are a plus for me, but they don't replace the family and my responsibility. So, what that will do will ensure that I get what I want to get, and I'm not stressing about missing, the females. Because this year I might have missed a couple. Because of that.
I'll tell you what, right before we get to Emilio, I will say this. It's a good and bad thing about having a snake room like connected to your house, right? Obviously, you could get up and check things right away, but you'll catch yourself in there when you don't need to be in there. You know what I mean? Like that's especially when you're new and you just and as you're spending cheese and things are growing and things are locking, you just want to be in there. Like you don't want to be nowhere else sometimes, and that's when you got to really just. For me, I mean, I've come a long ways, but man, I would catch myself in here for hours, bro. And God bless my wife for staying with me and shit. God damn. But I don't fuck with that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I know when it's time, but I think that's a plus thing for you. And also too, disconnecting also. Well, let me ask you, Sid, before we kind of get into like you not living on property where your snakes are at, how are you managing like security things and like, or do you have cameras or like things that notify you if something escapes or anything like that?
I will. You want to go? You want to jump in, Emilio, or you want me to?
No, that's for you, Belial. That's for you, Belial.
Yeah, I know he had something on the last topic. I didn't want him to forget.
It was real quick on the
contact.
I'll
forget.
I wanted to tell everyone out there the contact works fine, but it has a switch problem. So anyone out there that's watching, I recommend getting the Breeder Circle. Not only because of the foot pedal. I mean, I don't need the foot pedal. I mastered without it. But the contact has an issue with the switch where now I have to turn it on with a battery or with a plug. So, and it's the second one I've had. The first one I had to send back. I mean, that has to be a common problem across the country because of the Chinese product. So, yeah, definitely go Breeder Circle. I might go Breeder Circle in the future.
Oh shit!
I think Breeder Circle might be from Asia somewhere too, if I'm not mistaken. But the good thing about Breeder Circle is I can go back through him, and then he'll deal with all that back end. I'm not dealing with Amazon or the company directly, right? I have somebody in the middle that can do that. So to answer your question,
I thought I'd throw that out there.
No, you're
I
good.
appreciate that. That's what's up. So MJ, to kind of explain it to you, so the property is kind of like Wills from Royal Canadian Reptiles.
Yeah,
so I got you. I know you forgot the reptiles on the intro, but I got you. It's probably been a late, you probably beat.
I've had a lot. Today was my full day with Leo, so I'm like, I'm kind of
Oh yeah,
seeing,
you done.
I'm
Yeah,
seeing
you.
you right now. But anyways, you're good. Thanks for helping me out.
Um,
And Will, I
no
love you. You know, I
problem.
know you.
No problem. So yeah, but it's kind of like that. So it's out there a little bit. There's only what 3 other people on the road. We got a private road. But that being said, I do have cameras and stuff set up, so that I can't see. But I'm not worried about anything getting out.
How far is it from you?
35 minutes, maybe. It's only 35 from where I'm at, and then an hour from like the city.
Okay,
So it's not.
Remind me one more time where you live at. Like what
I'm in the East Coast. I'm on the East Coast. I'm in Northern Virginia.
Northern Virginia.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So I'm not too far from like Ozzy, and Showcase. Sebastian and I'm out here. It's plenty. CH Reptile. It's a lot of breeders out here, but a lot of them, are kind of like me. They work and they kind of keep their heads down.
You got some of the best to ever do it out there where you're at.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
But anyways, okay, so kind of going back to things, because obviously everything has levels, and like going back to you, obviously having the wife to support you on what you want to do. Like, how did you manage how big you wanted to go? What I mean by that, like, obviously going back to Monarch, when you saw that video from Justin, I'm curious because I don't really was paying attention too much, but do you remember how differently priced stuff was different from Monarch and Ultramel? And did that have any kind of like did that say anything to you, the fact that they were so much different in price?
So I didn't look at the price. For investment type stuff, I look at the upside, right? And the market. So what I did was I looked at Ultramel, and like what a lot of people are doing now, they go to Morph Market and they see how many Ultramels are available, how Ultramel is being traded and sold. And I went back a couple years to see how high it was at first, and did it go down? And it was pretty stable, the whole time. It didn't really go up and down. And I looked at, I try to forecast what's coming, right? And I know as the market got more flooded, then the prices would kind of go down. So I didn't want to get in on the back end and not have any crazy combos that I can push out. So that, I wasn't really worried about the price. I was worried about getting started, and doing something different than what I saw in the market. That's kind of what I do now. And that's why I'm kind of, low key, because I got a lot of stuff that probably people are not working with. And I'm trying to jump out with that because it's a business, because of course I want to return and I want it to pay for itself. Right. And I'm taxes at the end of the year. I want to be able to show I got some income that came in, but I'm also just want to make unique animals and art, and come out with hot stuff that's not there yet. So I'd rather work with. I can take chances. You know what I mean? I don't have to pay the bills with it, so I can take more chances than people. Right. So that's kind of what I'm after. And
you got time on your hands too, first and foremost, because when you're not in a rush, right? You just do things as you see fit, right? There's no, you're putting puzzles that you're getting pieces, not forcing pieces to the wrong fucking piece of the puzzle, right? Now, I can tell you with Monarch, right? One thing that always made me pay attention to Monarch was it's darker, and I like darker stuff, and because of that, I knew because how there wasn't that much Monarch stuff being put out there even a couple years ago. I knew how much I love that dark stuff, that this is going to be favorable for me, at least, because I like the dark stuff, right? But I did look at the price, right? And I'm like, well, how much more Ultramel stuff has been produced versus Monarch? There's a lot of Ultramel shit. Like, Ultramel is way ahead of the curve, right? But because of where things are at, period, in the market, even stuff that I feel like should be priced a little bit higher, it's not priced high because it's just what the market is. But when it comes to rarity, things have a solid chance of not being fucked with price-wise. And the biggest, I hate to piss any Ultramel lovers who are out there right now like this, waiting for me to talk shit. Well, here he goes. A lot of you guys who are so upset about Monarch for some reason are just mad because of money. It's a money thing. It's because you know damn well, for instance, Monarch Clown versus an Ultramel Clown. How big of a price jump is that? I don't need the actual numbers.
There isn't even a price. There isn't even a price. You can't even buy one. So
there you go. That's probably even that makes my point even more fucking legit. Like I'm saying, you know what I mean? It's about finding stuff that people aren't worried about touching, okay, until it's too late. You had your hands on it when motherfuckers were all about Ultramel because it was more affordable, probably. You know what I mean? And also there's more examples of it. But I feel like when you're seeing so many examples of something and you want that project, might be a little bit too late. Maybe.
And I didn't want to be too late. And again, I like Ultramel too, right? But to me, Ultramel has its place just like any other gene, right? There's certain genes some people don't like pastel, but pastel has its place. To me, Ultramel has its place, and it's with a lot of the stuff that's orange, right? Any type of orange animal or yellow animal, Ultramel is going to pop it. But for the dark side, which I love, it's Monarch. I believe Monarch will do better.
Everything gets
as they age.
Everything gets their moment on stage, right? Like, you gotta, like, we get it. Like, think about what everyone says. If pastel just came out yesterday, it would be the biggest fucking thing. Like, if we just started getting pastel, it would be everyone would be spending thousands on pastel because it's so new. But pastel is one of the mother genes that we had. Like, this is what started it all,
Guys, Monarch is the investment gene.
Rare's investment is rare. Like, that's what you go.
Yeah, when it comes to the two genes, it's the investment gene. Ultramel's been around a lot longer.
It's a gamble, right? And that's
what it is. I mean, some people might not want to hear that or don't like to hear that, but it's factual. That's what it is.
And I might not make the return, right? When you gamble on genes like that, there might not be a return on it. But I'm willing, I was willing to jump out there and
make a return for you, bro.
Oh no, it's coming. It's coming. I know what's coming, right? And I know what's out here. So it's going to be presented to everyone soon. Yeah. It's just everything in time, right?
But that no expectation mentality is going to help you as well. Like, it's coming, but in your head, you're not worried about it coming, because if it doesn't come, you don't do this for the money. You're not doing this to put food on the table. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing too, man. When you got people who are vested, like young people who are vested into this game, and this is their livelihood. Oh yeah, man. They're going to take this a lot more serious than most others, because
I'm not saying that to boast. I'm sorry, MJ. I'm not saying that to boast, because I know people in the chat actually depend on that. I don't want them to take it that way. I just came into it with that understanding, with that expectation that this is like my Zen space, right? My art, and it's going to be something different. I didn't want to make it a career or business, right? Maybe when I retire. But this is not, where I want to stress about producing to make money. I don't have the time like that. And I want to enjoy the snakes, right? When I think about having to sell snakes, and it puts me in a different place, and I don't enjoy the snakes anymore. So I'm happy to be in the place I'm in right now.
I think one of the very first videos I saw, and I think I forgot who it was, who compared, and it could have been Justin, but I'm thinking it was somebody else. Maybe it could have been Antoine. But they were talking comparisons, what a Monarch looks like and what an Ultramel looks like. And I know right now, obviously, we're looking at a Monarch, but I couldn't believe that there were people out there arguing that they were the same gene when you have them next to each other. Because it's kind of like, I mean, I'm not saying they're like, holy shit, like we're talking white and black different. No, but they are pretty noticeably different snakes. You know what I mean? But also that just kind of shows you, like, not everyone thinks for themselves in this. Like, a lot of people pay attention to what are being said in comments or what's being like fan favorited. But dude, at the end of the day, this is your art. Like, you got to find out what you want to put on this blank canvas that you start off fresh with, right? Because when you get into this and you're not breeding anything yet, it's a blank canvas. You haven't done nothing yet. But once you start putting on shit on there, it has to be something you like and love, right? Like, it's your art, I feel like. And I feel like people need that mentality straight from the start.
And I think a lot of people are looking at pictures, right, from camera phones. Like the picture you just showed, all my stuff is from camera phones, right? I've never used any other, anything else to photograph my snakes. So you're looking at a lot of people, and contrast doesn't show well, right? Them oranges will pop even on the camera before the contrast does,
right?
So it's kind of hard to see unless you actually see it in person. And I think a lot of people don't go to shows, or they don't have anybody local because it's a rare gene or morph, right? That they can't really see it. And there's a grading scale, right? There's beautiful examples, and there's mediocre examples of Monarch, just like there is Ultramel.
Ain't nothing mediocre about this snake.
That thing is beautiful. That thing is sick.
This snake taught me a lot, because I was all about the burgundy in the snake, right. But I learned through this that Monarch is very much a pattern manipulator, and it also enhances the yellows, and that's what a lot of people, and I didn't even know. Right. And that's why I love this so much, because even as I'm making snakes, and I have other things that I haven't shown too, but I didn't know there was a pattern manipulator. So I started changing some things to highlight that as well.
That's something that I see a clear difference in Monarch and Ultramel. I've seen enough Ultramels to know that Monarch also has. Wow, it has a different color. It also has a different pattern overall than Ultramel, and that's something nobody talks about.
With it, well, I'm glad because we got some stuff coming out that shows that that's what I mean. It's more than just the albinoism that's in the snake. It's some other stuff coming. It changed the pattern. I'm glad you saw that.
Yeah,
I can tell you got an eye because not many even see it or no.
Maybe they'll stay sharp. He's one guy who does pay a lot of attention to shit.
Bro, we obsess over snakes, and I know you do too, man. I mean,
oh, for sure.
This is
all day, all night.
Hell yeah, man. Over the years, bro, you just get better and better at that shit, better and better. So
yeah, and also too, you know, like I think people should give themselves more time and. Like, you know, if you like, it's like you ever hear like the saying, if you want to get a tattoo, like you should wait 2 years, and if you still want it in 2 years, then it's worth getting or some shit. I don't think
you're not gonna want it.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not saying you should wait that long, like on a project, but at the end of the day, like I don't know. Let me ask you this question: like, when do you feel like someone who just started liking ball pythons should start spending thousands of dollars on one snake? At what point does that like? Should that hit someone, and you know, or should that make sense for anyone? You think, especially because you're one of those people, Belial. So,
I think I would tell them like I would any other, you know, any other thing in life, right? Find a mentor, go to shows, do something like that, or go work with somebody and actually see what's involved in keeping the animals the correct way, because it's a lot more to it than I think a lot of people know coming in. But as long as you enjoy it. You know, you don't really feel it as much, but it's the more animals you get. You know, I don't know how you all feel, but there's been times when I question. I'm like, man, what am I? But when them eggs drop and you hatch an egg, it just I don't know. It's crazy. It keeps you going. So everybody needs inspiration and motivation, and I think having the clutch does that. But they need to have a great understanding of what goes into keeping these animals properly. Right, and you know, daily and weekly care, right? Like it's one thing that you highlight all the time. I think you do daily water changes or something.
I mean, which
is insane.
If I need to, you know what I mean. They're not daily though. Like I do 3 water changes a week. So that's every other day basically. I do water changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, people with 500, 600 animals, they can't. I mean, that's kind of impossible.
Yeah, right. But that's why I would never keep that many because I know I can't. Like at some point. Especially now, that's why I've been dialing back. I've sold I don't know how many snakes this year. I did add some, but it was more of this stuff that I like. But I got rid of most of my big stuff. Like I still have a little, like one big snake here that's going to be leaving to Canada soon. So, but I dial back a shit ton, bro. But you know, because I want to work with stuff that's not going to be so heavy. You know what I mean?
For me, what I tell you guys, and what I advocate on the pod overall is. You want to slowly grow 15%, maybe 20% a year. If you grow 50, 80% year to year, let's say, bro, you're going to crash. Like you can't adjust to taking care of so many animals so quickly.
But the reality is people do jump like that in this game.
Bro, and it's fucking nuts. I can't imagine that shit, bro. I can't. Yeah. You know,
so my first year of breeding, I had 3 clutches. Second year, I have 5. This year, I shouldn't have more than 5. I don't want to breed. I don't want to have more than 10 clutches. As long as they're the right ingredients, then that's. I don't think you need to have that many. So I don't, and I don't play. I have under 70. I have about 66, 67 snakes. I don't have that many.
Can you imagine going from 5 to 30?
Absolutely not.
Bro,
I mean,
that's wild.
That shit doesn't work, dog.
That was like a starter pack in the COVID breeder era. Like motherfuckers were even buying other people's stuff who were getting out and then breeding it to the point where they're jumping like from 5 to 30. I had a few people on the show talk about that. And I'm like, wow. And
that was COVID though, wasn't it? That was during COVID time. Like, people were chasing the money.
Yeah, but that was people doing that just a year ago, 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But that, you know, people who haven't been around that long, and it's like, shit.
No name. How you gonna sell it?
You know, and when especially when you're working with high end stuff, like you're gonna wholesale like your high end stuff, you're not gonna do that. But a lot of motherfuckers they learned this year for sure.
Well, not only that, right? You're gonna clean up. It's the amount of care for the animals, right? And not only that, the food, bro.
The feeding. That's a whole other aspect, bro.
Bro, but first and foremost, the care.
Yeah.
You know, the fresh water, the fresh bedding, you know, making sure, you know, everything is on point.
Feeding is a part of the care that goes in with everything. It's like, and then also caring for the feeding, right?
Yep.
If you breed, yeah. But I mean, I wasn't ready for the feeding, to be totally honest.
Tell me more, bro.
Because when I first started, I was doing the frozen thawed stuff.
Yeah.
And then, you know, as I got, when I got to like 15, 20 snakes, the time to, you know, shaking the snake, I'm like, I don't have time to do this because of the career field I'm in.
Yeah.
So I try to reach out. I want to morph market. There's like a map you can pull up to see what breeders are in your area. I don't know if any people use it. I know I talked to a lot of people. They said they didn't even know that existed. And then I found Carlo, CH Reptiles. You know, he was like 15 minutes from me. So I reached out to him and I said, hey, well, who do you use for feeders? Because like I want some live. You know, I'm trying to find somebody. Then he put me in touch with somebody, and I started live. Changed my life.
Yeah, I mean, it's
then
a walk in the park.
Yeah. See, it's totally different. But then it was when my snakes didn't eat. What do I do with the live rats? You know, and I'm getting smalls that's the size of mediums. You know, because they're trying to get rid of the largest, and I don't know at the time. I'm thinking he just hooking me up. When he wasn't hooking me up, he just trying to get rid of that big rat. Because you know, nobody
sick fuck.
I didn't know, right? But you learn, right? As you go on, you're like, oh, he's not taking care of me. Like he's trying to get rid of it.
You're his garbage disposal.
Man. So, you know, I had to get a rat to keep them. And then, I mean, a rat is, I mean, they're destroying your house. There's no way. So I had to learn how to care for them. But now I'm an ASF. I'm you know, team ASF now. So it's
what a complete difference with keeping ASF and rats. It's like you can't even compare them. I'm sorry, but you really can't. Only because I've done it. I've done both, and rats will fucking rock your world, man. If your shit's not dialed in, if you don't have a professional rack and you think you're gonna get away with the Home Depot built one, nah, sorry, fam. You're that thing will chew out at some point, and if you have that thing not secure, that thing's gone, or it's gonna fuck up whatever it's in. It's gonna chew something. So
the rat industry is rough because now most of the market's ball pythons, right? And what they're producing the most outgrows what's eating them the most, right? Or what's being fed the most. It's rough. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So I want to shout out to my rat guys too, because I don't think we get them enough flowers. So I use Mountain State Freedom Breeders. He out there in VA, and I use Boss Feeders. He out in Maryland. It's one of Ozzy's cousin. So he's also the one who kind of got me started. It was my OG when it came to care of ASF. He started me off when he didn't have to, right? I was going to him to get him, and he showed me how to care for him, hooked me up, and did everything. You know, a lot of people are not going to do that, right? They want that money coming in. So I make sure I still go out there and take care of them when I can. So shout out to all the rat breeders that's, you know, supplying the industry and providing us rats and rodents.
Yeah, man, and it's crazy how just helping somebody, how far it lets them go in this game, and it's good karma. I always say, like, you get things that just land in your lap out of nowhere, if you're meant to be in this game, you know. And so it's just, those are just blessings that are just aligning for you, I feel like. So I just want to say that's awesome that you learn how to keep those ASFs, because those can, you know, as much as they are like a lot cleaner and stuff like that, you got to know how to feed these things, man, and you got to know how to keep them as well. You got to understand that some of them will fucking kill each other if you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, I mean, it's also another part of the game, like I said, that you have to put some patience in and a lot of train of thought. Like, you got to think what you're doing. And we cover diets and all sorts of stuff. But on that topic, you just keep whatever you have left over with ASFs, or you actually breed your own ASFs at this point?
Well, I'm in Virginia, so ASFs are illegal to breed in Virginia. Okay. So I have some pets that every now and then, you know, they're together. So they, you know, so that happens. And then I just, you know, so they won't, my colleague won't get too big. I'll dispose of them.
I think so the homie Jacob from Civil Serpents calls them Kenya river hamsters.
Let's go with that.
But yeah, okay, you know, there's
both,
a lot.
but both.
Right.
I
Okay.
want to make sure that I take care of the people who put that time in, because taking care of, I mean, that amount of rodents is I mean, I've been in there. It's insane, and like the work that they do. So if I can, you know, give a little bit to them just to keep them going too, I'll, you know, I can produce a little bit less, and then, you know, kind of give them some, you know, every couple of weeks too, to kind of keep them going, because there's going to be times when we need them.
So you feed both. You do ASF and rats.
So it's a funny question you asked that, because I know it's been this discussions about ASF versus rats and how, you know, what you prefer. I do agree that they're not too far off. I think people feel like the ASFs is that much better because of, you know, they don't have to exhaust themselves too much into the care of them. So of course that's going to make you feel like they're doing better. You're going to see things, and but I think early on, growth wise, ASFs are better, right? Because they're packing more. But once the snake gets to a certain size, you're feeding its chicklets with them ASF, right? So I'm feeding 2 and 3 and 4, and I'm like, let me just feed it with just one big one and then see what it does. So this year, the big female breeders, I took half of them and I fed them just bigger meals of rats just to see compare the two.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
I do know. Well, I will say, comparing like growth between a rat and a ASFs, I mean, there would be times where I didn't have enough big ASFs to feed. Like they were, I would run out, and obviously I don't want to kill off like the ones killing it in the breeding game. And so with rats, I had so much surplus, like extra males where they were humongous. I was like almost having to kill them off so they could stop growing, because they were like, dude, they fucking get big, like they get humongous, bro. And nothing's more. It was another one thing about the rats, man, too, is because like as scary as they are at the hugest sizes of male, they were nice. Like some of them were really nice, and I was falling in love with them, man. Like not like that. Whoa, I'm just saying, like it was like a pet. It was like legit pet, you know. So I had time for that shit, man. I don't want to be killing off pets every day. It just felt bad after a while.
Yeah, that's their way. I don't even.
They're all good, bro. They're all good.
I know. God, it's a circle of life. I just put on the Lion King and I feel a lot better. Now, okay, let me ask you this. So when it comes to starting off your hatchlings, right? Because obviously you've got some clutches under your belt. But what has worked for you? Like, you know, you got a baby ball python just had its first shed. What do you go to?
ASF.
Okay.
Immediately.
How many meals?
All the way through. So the only time I switch over to, so the first meal is always an ASF, and I'll start with like something small. Because I have them, I don't need to start big and try to rush them to get a certain size to get rid of them.
Right.
You know, the 3-4 meals. I take my time. So most of the stuff I breed, I'll keep the whole thing if I have to. So I'll start with the little pinky. They're teeny, just so they won't get scared of them. Because I've had snakes that gotten scared and then they won't eat just because the rat moved or something and then it startled it. So I'll start with something that just sits there and twitches. And then after they get, a couple of those down, maybe 2 within a week, they'll get like 2 or 3 in a week. Then the next week I'll go with something a little bigger. But I do ASF, for first 3 or 4 meals. And if I'm going to sell them, then I'll switch them over to the pups. Yeah, and I always start small with the pups. I don't start, people get like a good sized pup. I start small. Yeah. I don't need to blow them up.
You made a really good point. You could spook your babies or your ball pythons in general. You can spook a ball python into not eating for a good while. Mm-hmm. If you go too big, it's risky.
I've had big ones do it too. Big ones get bit, because I just started doing the rat thing where I put the rats in now. So you gotta you can't put them in and close it. You gotta look and then get them before they latch.
No, I don't mean a bite. I don't mean a bite in particular. If you're not paying attention to your animal in general, overall out there, not you, bro. No, you got experience.
Who, me?
But
talking to me?
No, not you. Neither of you guys. But what I'm saying is, it's easy to spook a ball python into not eating for a good while when you try to push it with a meal that's too big. Yeah. So he's got the right approach. He's not pushing it. He's starting, kind of small.
Yeah.
A lot of guys out there
just err on the side of caution.
Sure. Yeah, a lot of guys out there, giving it the biggest meal possible, and you might.
But it hurts me too, right? Because my snake's taking longer to get the size, though, right? I see some people's snakes, 6-7 months, they're huge,
Yeah.
But I don't, you don't always see like a bulge in my snakes when I feed them. I err on the side of caution.
Yeah,
Bro,
me neither.
But I'm not in a rush.
You got
Yeah.
motherfuckers feeding every 3-5 days.
I don't do that shit.
It's crazy. I wish I had the time and the attention span for that, but there's no way. I once a week is just all I have in me as far as maintaining stuff and not skipping. I do know for a fact I can't maintain 3 to 5 every. I mean, that's just. But
There's
respect
some
for people
snakes that'll do that. There's some
Yeah.
snakes that'll do that, and then there's some snakes that you do that, and they're just gonna shut down on you for a good while, bro. There's no way
monsoons do it. Monsoons would do it. I mean, I think some of my monsoons probably would eat every day. They could.
Yeah.
But monsoons are crazy. They every day. So sunset, some of the sunsets I have in monsoons, they coming out the tub.
All right,
Like, I
we're
didn't
getting
feed
into other genes. I'm gonna ask you this. Before we do that,
shift gears
Okay.
here.
I want to know where you're going next with Monarch, if you could share it before we go anywhere else.
Okay.
Next,
Like
how though?
recessive wise or
Whatever you
Yeah,
think is cutting edge. It doesn't have to be
closest
recessive
to-
because that's something that we're doing out
closest
there.
to
We're all
Monarch.
focused on recessives, you know?
I'd rather shade. I'll shade a recessive. Those are easier, right? Because it's
Okay.
It's the recessives are easier, but I'm close to the Monarch Kiki balls. I like Kikis, like the little triangular kind of like shapes on their back. So I'm working on. I'm close to those. Possibly at the end of the year or next year.
But your prediction would Monarch bring in more pattern to that, then, right? You would say like that if you were to predict
Both the pattern and then the contrast. I think the contrast will change as they age. So I try to look at pictures of snakes as they age and not as babies, because like most of us, we're trying to get, I want to open a tub for a 4 or 5 year old female that I'm breeding, and she still looks a certain way. Right. And I know we all say that, but we kind of get caught up in like the next snake that got presented and we kind of go in that direction. I'm stuck on what a snake looks like in the end. So I'm going for that contrast. I want the contrast, and then I'm not going to, and I'm not going to keep breeding them. Once I want to see her grow, right? Like, once I make one, I'll see how it looks at 2,000 grams. If it looks good, then I'll produce some more. I already have the ingredients, but I'm not in this to just keep producing just to have a bunch of them. I want to wait because I don't want to waste it, right? I'm looking down the road. So that's why my project is going to come slow, but I don't want to. I want to be known, for something big. I don't need to do it right now. I don't need to be on top now.
I wanna really see a sunset Monarch.
It's coming.
I want to see that.
It's coming with leopard though. You got to have leopard in there.
You got to have something for sure. I'll tell you that much. Just can't have sunset.
Another dark gene.
Yep.
Okay.
I have a feeling they're going to complement each other for sure. Monarch and sunset.
I hope the red, the kind of reddish tones that they have when they're babies are insane. They don't keep it, but I love that color of a sunset when it's young.
I mean, look what Ultramel tried to do. Ultramel, not to take any away from Ultramel Sunset, but like that guy who made it in Europe and showed it first. That looked like that looked like a red snake. Like I thought, like holy shit! And obviously it calmed down quite a bit, but this being darker, dude, this might keep it like that. I don't know.
And that's the gamble, and that's why they add the leopard, because the leopard makes it dark as well. To kind of keep the contrast dark. That being said, I do think Ultramel might do better in Monsoon though, because of the colors and the tones in Monsoon.
I'm working on that.
We'll see.
Ultramel Monsoon.
I think they might do better. I'm going both directions, but I think, and again, it's just I'm doing this based off the palettes, right? If we was an artist, you take certain palettes, you put them together, and you get something. That's just my thinking. But we'll see.
Yeah, man. I like this top.
I'm still shooting for it, but I'm just giving Ultramel's props, right? It has its place. With certain genes.
Over there. Just kidding. I'm not even either. I'm just fucking with everyone. I like to troll people who are
I work Ultramel, bro, but I got much love for Monarch.
Oh man, I'm excited for anyone like yourself who's where they're at with Monarch, because I'm telling you right now, we ain't seen shit. We just ain't seen shit yet. And
that's the fun part.
Yeah. Right.
Something that, and that's just, I just want to hit something that nobody's seen yet and do that. I'm tired of seeing the same things, to be totally honest.
I mean, aren't we all? And it's kind of like why, no offense, but that's why it's hard for a lot of people to stay relevant in this, because they follow a bunch of other trains. Like they're hopping other people's trains basically instead of starting their own train and just waiting a little bit longer. You know what I mean? Emilio's been quiet for fucking years. And I think over a year, he started fucking putting his face out there more, right? I would say, or 2 years now, Emilio. Like, hasn't been that long. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, everyone just, I think patience is the hardest thing for a lot of people, man, because they get caught up in so much hype. And I'm not saying hype in a bad way. It's exciting to see other people's success, but right away they want to go ahead and do it. And it's like, I mean, yeah, I'm sure.
I think everybody wants to be relevant, right? Like I would like to have more than not 1,000 followers or whatever I have, on Instagram, but I don't have the animals and the things to kind of, show something every day and kind of push things forward. And I think a lot of people feel like they need to have that, right, to be more relevant. They need more animals and content to push out. And that's just I was willing to let that go, and just come out in the future when I make those certain animals. I think I just hit over 1,000. So it's in some aspects it's needed, but I'm luckily to be in a place where I don't need to be in that place at the moment.
All right. So when you say like anything you need this year, as far as productions go, that you're looking to hold back, like what's that one thing?
Everything.
Yeah, I know, but come on, man. We gotta, you know what I mean? I know there's got to give me something here. I know there's, and I want everything too. God bless. I got, some heat, but I can tell you one thing right here off the top of my dome that I'm looking forward to making this year. I'm just wondering, do you have something like that sticks out?
I'm looking forward to making.
Yeah, like you're like this year.
Yeah, chocolate Monarch clowns.
Whoa, damn.
Damn. Super chocolate is one of my favorite because it's dark, right? That thick pattern, that dorsal on the back of clowns. And I think JP is on here. So he loves super chocolate too. That's something that we have in common. We love the super chocolate clowns. I love them. I mean, super chocolate clowns are insane. So I added chocolate to my stock. And JP, he told me to tell you, I was talking to him earlier, MJ. He just put a down deposit on GTPs.
Finally,
he just did it.
Who?
That's awesome.
Who? Bill?
He didn't tell me who.
Dave? Oh, JP. Come on, pal. You know what's crazy? I think he sent me a message. And it was I think it was in my other account. And by the time I went there, it was gone. I think he took it back.
You probably took it back. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You're a sick bastard, JP. Oh, I'm excited. I mean, because I was talking about people who I've been following since coming into this, getting into other species, like Will Morrow's getting into the tree monitors, who I think personally he's going to do fucking great in that game. I mean, Wilson's dialed in, but then also JP's been definitely annoying the shit out of me and many other people for years about chondros and other stuff. And to hear that he actually finally did it, good for you, buddy.
Respect.
Yeah. But also flowers to JP. He was the very first one, not Justin, not Levance, not Miguel. JP was the first one to make that chocolate shit that made me I threw my hands in the air and be like, dude, this shit right here, respect. And took it to a whole nother level with chocolate. He did.
Yeah, that chocolate is especially in clown to me. It's what it does to that dorsal. It's insane.
Yeah, you're not gonna go wrong with that at all.
That's the best. That might be the best, in my view, clown super out there.
Oh, for sure. That's the best one.
Yeah,
I'm telling you guys, I'm probably gonna buy a female this year. If I can find a nice one.
So I got some of that. I got some of that stuff coming up. I'm adding some more to it, but hopefully I can hit one of those this year.
The ones that JP hit are probably the best I've seen, without a doubt.
I can't produce a super, but I can create the base if I hit the odds again.
All right, I'll tell you what I'm looking for.
And chocolate goes good in spot nose, right? So I can also bring it back in. So that's what I'm trying to do.
I know you guys want me to say what I'm looking forward to making. Quit twisting my arm. I get it. Like, I'm going to tell you. But what I have in the incubator right now cooking that I don't think no one's made quite yet is highway chocolate clown combos.
Come on.
Let's go. And then also not the super, but it's my base, because I'm obsessed with like the super gravel, super asphalt. Like, God bless Yellow Belly, but I try to get it the fuck out of the way because I want dark, crazy insaneness. That's what I'm.
You like highway clowns?
Yeah, I made a Mardi Gras clown this year or last year.
Really?
Yeah. Dylan from D's Balls and Exotics owns that snake now. Shout out to Dylan. But yeah, I love highway clowns. I definitely feel like a lot of potential there. But just my thing also, man, like I'm obsessed with incomplete dominants that are meant to be supers, right? And can we agree that chocolate's better in a super form?
Absolutely. So chocolate and spot nose, chocolate and blackhead. It's a couple other ones that people don't know that are super forms with chocolate that are out there too.
Yeah, but to give chocolate even more props, like it doesn't need to be a super form to get fucking some results. Like gravel, you have to go super, or you have to throw yellow belly or something to really understand that gene. Not with chocolate. Like chocolate gives you enough just with itself, but it doesn't hurt when you add more chocolate. You know what I mean? In life in general, period.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, man, the super chocolate stuff. Let's put some other respect on some. Okay, hold on. You said blackhead was one of the first things to get you going in this, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, are there ways where you don't want to do super blackhead in some things, or is super blackhead on the same level? Can we talk about that?
So I don't know if you've seen the super blackhead clowns as they age, but it's almost too dark. It doesn't age the same, the blackhead. Now, blackhead and chocolate and blackhead and spot nose are also supers. So you don't have to double down on the blackhead to make a super, right? And then leave the combo. You can just use one of the other genes. So the super blackhead stuff and the blackhead, clown stuff and MARC stuff that I have, I don't have to double up on the blackhead. I can use the other genes that I have. But I'm not shooting for the super blackhead. No, not at all.
Yeah, because I remember I had the homie Will Nussman, shout out to Will. But he was like, yeah, I don't do too much super blackhead. He has, and he's like, it's cool if he does, but it's not what he aims for. And I'm like,
not in clown.
Yeah.
Something else, but not in clown.
Right. Anything else?
Pie and shit like that, but not.
Anything else incomplete dominant? You're a big fan of Belial?
Complete dominant.
Some you stand tall on, like what we're talking about. I know we said blackhead, chocolate,
het red and red exantic.
Really? That's an incomplete dominant?
Isn't it? It's a super, isn't it? Red exantic is a super, right?
Why is it called het red exantic? That just don't make
sense. Because he messed up. Because when it came out, he didn't know. Yeah. But then when he found out, he didn't. From what I'm hearing, right? And Emilio, you might know. And from what I'm hearing is, once he found out it wasn't a recessive, it was too. He didn't want to confuse it. Like this ball pint, we already confused enough.
Now
they smart enough back then.
Now they don't want to confuse. Yeah, fuck, bro.
Back then he was like, "Hey, I don't want to confuse people," so he didn't change the name. He left it with it. I think it's the guy in Canada, right?
Corey Woods. That's my dog.
Corey, yeah. He didn't want to change it, so he just left it head red and then made a red exantic for the super. But it's not a recessive.
I'm gonna talk to Corey about that.
I mean, some people look at supers like, okay, that's the homozygous. Yeah. Some people, right? It's incorrect. Right. But some people look at the super as a homozygous animal, and the one.
But I don't see a lot of red exantic stuff out there. There's a couple, but to make a super and then all of a sudden it changes exantic, but it has a yellowish. It has a different tone to it.
Yeah,
it's hard to explain in person. It's weird.
I've been following Corey for years, bro, and I remember just wondering, like, is he ever gonna hit a visual? Like, all he ever has is HRAs, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, when's this guy gonna show me a visual? But it's all now. This makes sense. But I don't know. It's another thing too, man. A name like that, no offense, but a name with confusion like that, I stay away from. I stay the fuck away from shit like that because I don't got that much time to explain that to a customer. You know what I mean?
I like the green pastel name better.
Was that the name before?
That's another one that's very similar. Oh, same thing. Another one of those situations.
It's funny you transition into that because that's one of the things I was going to bring up that I like. What just happened with the exantic stuff? We found out that they were similar, and now we're kind of dialing down the different variations of certain things.
Right.
And that's something that I think that we didn't see coming with this RGI stuff with the testing, where everybody was looking at the year saved and like breeding. But now, with that, I think that'll save a lot of people a headache as well. Yeah. With knowing what's in their snakes, because as these, people putting 6, 7, 8 genes and they're saying it's something and it has a secret codon or something in it that they do or don't want. I think as further we go down the line, we'll start being able to dial in what we have a little better in our collections, because there's stuff hidden in everybody's collection for sure.
Yeah, no more fake new jeans.
Yeah,
for real. But here's the thing, though. Like, people can still claim they got something new in a sense. I mean, because if RGI wanted to test for it, don't it need all the sheds to make the point valid?
Well, hey, listen, all of us are gonna say something real simple to that person. Start sending the sheds, brother.
Yep, that's gonna be the new. That's what I say the same thing. That's gonna be the new norm.
Simple.
You can't come out with a new gene without proof.
Yep.
So everything's gonna be linked to proof now. It's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Hopefully, Morph Market makes them do it. Hey, nope. Where's the link to RGI saying it was a different?
Yeah.
And this gene that cleans everything up for us.
Yep.
Now we got the system for it. So
yeah.
And it only makes us look better too by having this shit on top. Having stuff like this dialed in will only make us go further as a hobby. You know what I mean? Because it's going to bring more people in. It's going to, it's more organized first and foremost. But the thing is, how many people are really going to start doing that?
I think it's going to. I mean, industry can be forced to do it, right? Especially if you spend thousands of dollars on a snake. And once a couple people start doing it, everybody's going to want that, right? It's like, hey, I need proof. I pay, and then or the people that give them proof can ask for premium. Hey, mine is coming with proof. Like breeding dogs or anything else, mine coming with papers.
Yeah,
and that's why I like what Clutch is doing and other. They're showing you lineage. You put all your animals in 10, 20 years. I mean, you can go all the way back, and I can show you proof of what I bred to do this. In a sense, so it's coming with papers.
And we all know the dog price differences when you have a dog buying it for what it is versus papered up. You know what I mean? It's a whole nother. We're talking thousands.
I was in the industry before this, so
yeah,
sure. I bred and showed dogs, so before this, so it's a whole nother industry.
What kind of dogs?
Staffordshire Bull Terriers.
Oh, really?
So it's basically this, stuff from New England that made pit bulls what they are. But I bred and showed them. It's importing from Europe and showed them.
Quite a difference, huh? The two breeding games.
Oh, for sure. It's. Yeah. I think that's way more political over there. It's insane.
Oh, for sure. I can only imagine. Now, does the dog game have anything to fear like what we do with US ARC and what legislations? Like, does the dog game go through that at all or no?
Depends on the breed. That. I mean, it's breed specific.
Right. Damn. Now, speaking of breeding specific, like, do you ever see yourself dabbling into another species at some point?
GTPs, I'm not ready for that one. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm that guy.
What makes you not ready? I gotta ask you, what makes you say to yourself, like, I'm not ready? I'm just curious.
I'm just family first right now. I mean, it's a sacrifice. I love animals. I used to, I came in and I want black dragons. I want a lot of things, but the time and attention and care that it takes, right? You have your son in there with you, right? Because you can do both.
Right.
I can't really do both. My son is in sports, so I have to be gone. And I don't know if y'all have, Emilio, you might have kids in sports now. I mean, you can't sit in the house. You're gone. It's work and then sports, and then your day is over. So I don't have the time to give them the proper care, and I wouldn't want to do it unless I can give them the proper care. And I watch a lot of your podcasts, and I watch other podcasts, and the time and attention that to do it right. I want to do it. If I'm gonna do it, I want to do it right. And I'm not going to jump into it unless I can do that. And my kids and my family come first. I mean, my wife and family comes first.
Respect.
This is where I'm at right now.
Yeah, maybe your son's in the goddamn fire department. It's crazy. Shit, sick.
How old is he?
My son's 20. My eldest is 24, and my youngest is 15. Yeah,
that's what's up. My eldest will be 25 this year.
Damn, look at you guys, bro. What's going on?
I know, and my youngest is 4 months.
Oh yeah.
So nobody can tell me you're not tired. I'm tired.
Yes.
Let's be. I mean, it's 10 o'clock over here. These are precious hours I'm giving because every 2-3 hours.
So you started again, huh, brother?
Man, I was overruled.
I know how it is. Yeah, you don't look that old at all, though. How old are you, bro?
I appreciate it. I'm in my 40s. I'll be 44 this year.
Dog.
Yeah.
I think nowadays, also. Bro, we really can't look at these age as what they once were. You know what I mean? Because I know I remember growing up, like in the 90s, a 40-year-old looked like what a 6-year-old looks like now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so nowadays it's just I don't know, man. But yeah, dude, props to you, man.
Yeah.
Good genes, man. Same with Emilio.
You also gotta take care of yourself, bro. You know what I mean?
Take care of yourself.
Like
too.
back in the day, I don't think people really took care of themselves as much as we do now. You know.
Hey, speaking of that, you're letting a lot. Emilio, speaking of that, you're letting a lot of gray coming on your beard, bro. I'm just
can't control that part, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't control that.
And a lot of it's food too. You know, the food and the things we take.
You know, alcohol.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta control that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I did pretty well before my better half, but after she changed all that.
That's
so she was a cancer survivor, and it kind of changed her outlook on meals and intake and nutrition. So you know, she's cooking, so you know, it changed the way I eat. And then almost 3 years ago, I stopped drinking too.
No
alcohol. That habit. So yeah, so.
But were you somebody to drink a lot before you quit? Like, were you drinking pretty consistently, or how were you kind of a drinker?
So I wasn't, but you know, around COVID time, you know, we sitting in the house, you know, dealing with stress from work and other things going on. You know, I started, you know, noticing that, you know, my bottles, you know, and I like good bourbon, you know, so I'm like, hold on, this bourbon, this alcohol bill is looking a little high, and I, you know, start keeping track.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, I'm drinking too much, you know, and then my wife laughs, but one day I was running down the steps to get my son to do something,
right? And
I like felt something on my belt line. I'm like, what is that, man? It was my belly. I said, absolutely not, absolutely. I'm like, what was that? I'm done.
Belly hit your hand.
Like, no, I'm done,
man.
I'm done. No, that flat hit me out. Whoa, and I'm used to, like, you know, being pretty fit. Like, I was done. That COVID. It messed me up.
Yeah,
bro, drinking gets you fat. I did start drinking again, unfortunately, but not as much as I was, because I would say last year I was drinking every damn. I mean, even the year before, I don't know how many years in a row I've been drinking on the show, but I was just every show I was drinking, and I was drinking Bullet. I like the bourbon. I like the good stuff too. But then
Angel's Envy. It ain't number Bullet, but the, you know, aged in the wine barrels.
Right.
Angel's Envy is. You guys Angel's Envy? Oh boy.
What's it called?
Angel's Envy.
Angel's Envy.
Yeah, that was my regular, you know, everyday, like.
That was your go-to.
Yeah, no, every day. It's next level.
Yeah, that and red wine was my thing, and I just realized doing that every day, man, I was getting big, bro. Yep. I was two. What was I? I think in November I was 240. And I quit drinking, and then I went like 4 months without drinking, and I lost over 20 pounds just from not drinking. I was working out. Yeah.
That red wine with a steak.
It blows you up too. Like you get swollen. You know what's crazy is, like, after you drink too much, you get puffy. Like, look at anyone who drinks a lot, they're like puffy. It's crazy.
You can tell. Yep. Yeah. That's what it does. Yeah. Inflammation.
Yep. It's crazy. It's crazy how bad alcohol is for you, like, legit.
And we drink it like water.
Man. Shout out to everyone who don't give a fuck. But anyways, moving forward. So I know you have obviously a comfort zone when it comes to your clutches. Like you said, about 10 you're looking to hit this year, right?
5, 6. I'm trying to stay under 10, and I pay more than 5. You know, because, you know, you hear the one might not go or this one might not go, so I kind of did a couple more.
Right.
But I don't have an ultrasound, so if they don't go, you know, I won't be mad. But I want to get that feeling that you get when you get some eggs and they hatch. So
right.
I want to make sure I get a few.
So obviously, with you in control of your holdbacks, you're in control of how many clutches you could do in the future, right? So where do you see yourself, like, I don't know, give yourself a few years, like 6-7 years down the road, right? And if you think about all the holdbacks you could be keeping, where do you want to cut the line off, you know, as far as the amount of clutches? And, like, you know, even if you get all the success behind it, you know, you're selling snakes, it's making sense to you. Like, you know, where we at? You know, you think
collection size, right? Collection size,
right?
No more than 10 clutches ever. I'm not doing it.
Damn.
So after my first, so I can't every year. If I have something, I hold something back. If it's not something powerful, and I know Ozzy kind of does this, but I do it on the next level because it's gone. I mean, somebody needs it, and somebody else. So I'll just bless somebody else. And I don't typically ask for nothing crazy. I just, you know, I'll just bless somebody else with it, and keep what I have. It's no more than 10. I don't want to. I have my views on, you know, excessive breeding. So I try to lead by example when it comes to that. And it doesn't matter how big I get. I'm still gonna, I'm still gonna be small. So I don't think like that. I'm not gonna make a more production and try to get more money, and it's just not. It's not a goal of mine.
You're being realistic.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if I gotta sell something I don't want to sell, I'm gonna put a good price on it, but I'm gonna have to go.
Now, I mean, and that's another thing you look at too, right? Like whatever you did have available, if it doesn't sell, you don't have a problem just holding it, do you?
And that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the
they don't want to meet the price. I'll just keep it. And like if you look on Morph Market now, there's nothing there. I mean, I got about 5 or 6 I could post, but I'm not really in a rush. I got a couple males that should be on there, and I'll do it at some point. It's just a different feeling when you're not stressing. I don't want to stress over the animals.
Oh yeah,
I want to love them. Like I don't want to add stress to the hobby.
It does change everything, and not that like you're trying to. You're just human, and when you have either bills to pay or something on the line, and it all depends on a clutch or a fucking snake that you need to sell, dude. And that's what happened to a lot of people, unfortunately. And I'll keep saying it, but a lot of COVID breeders were breeding stuff that they weren't marketing themselves for. And then when it came down to selling it, they couldn't sell it because there was fucking all these other examples out there already. There's people ahead of them, But
then they got to feed it. I mean,
feed it.
Once you get that feeder bill, it changes things.
Yeah, man. I can't imagine. I don't know.
How many you got coming, Emilio?
I'm sorry?
How many clutches you have coming?
About 83.
Jeez.
Yeah, but I do this full time, bro.
Oh, that's right. You go to shows and you do. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
He's a Florida guy too, so they're different over
there. Again, I mean, you didn't share your beliefs on overproducing and all that, but to some extent, I'm also responsible for bringing some of that new blood into the hobby. So I mean, I take pride in that as well.
No, so thank you for allowing me to explain that. So I'm glad you didn't automatically take that the wrong way.
No, I didn't.
More people need to do that, right? Like, give someone, allow somebody to give context on things and not just be butthurt. So, but I do want to give you context so you don't, and everybody on the chat so they'll know, or logged in so they'll know what I mean by that. Overproduce. What I mean by overproducing, I don't want to overproduce past my capabilities, right? Just for money is what I mean, right? If you're bringing more people, you're traveling. I mean, that's work, bro. Like you traveling, going to these shows. I went to one show, and I was like, how? I mean, it's and some people do this on the side, and they have a 9 to 5. Yeah, all respect. It's not for me. It's a grind. It's a hustle.
That's fine.
So I wasn't coming at the people that produce and actually go out and sell the animals and bring people in and do that. I mean, within my capabilities, right? I would be overproducing just for money, right? Because I wouldn't be going to shows, stuff like that. There's a lot of people that overproduce and just put it on Morph Market. That's not helping anyone. That's not bringing anyone.
Oh
in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So where's your sweet spot? Where's your collection gonna be? Because I don't feel like you answered that. You answered the clutches you want to hit every year, but where do you feel like you will want your collection to be?
For me, it's hard to say because, like, you all know, like as you produce things and you get certain pieces, you might not hit the odds, so you got to keep certain things back, right? Especially when we go to the quad recessive, triple recessive, all that stuff. You have to keep more animals back. So I'm only limited myself to my ability to properly care for them.
Okay,
right.
That's
like
a great answer.
10 years from now, right? I might be in my 50s. God willing, we continue to do what we do. I may be retired, right? And I can focus on the pythons and the sales and travel. Go to shows, meet people, and do those things. I have more times for the animal. So then maybe my collection will grow based on where I'm at in life. So it's hard for me to project that. But for right now, I mean, I always said I would be under 100 with holdbacks, with any babies, so I don't want to produce more, produce and have and hold back more than 100. It's a lot of work, man. It's hard.
Definitely is to do it right. Hell yeah.
I think what you're telling me, Bilal, you could help me get into the Monarch game. Is what you're telling me.
Oh, for sure. I want to. Oh yeah, we can talk offline about
I
that.
want to play ball. I want to ball.
Let's do it. Yeah. Let's do it.
No,
and big up because you've always promoted it. So I was just waiting for. I was like, he's gonna get in at some point. You've always promoted it. I'll give you, I give you that.
It's like I've almost avoided getting it because I don't want people to think like I'm bandwagoning. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've always loved Monarch ever since especially when people were trying to compare them. I'm like, oh hell no, like this. I know what I'm looking at here, and then also the way I am with Sunset, like I said, man, there's a future in Sunset, and that's obvious. But don't ever try to tell me that you could just have a collection of just sunsets and say you have a fucking poppin' collection, because you don't. You got a bunch of brown snakes. That's all that is. But it's a foundation piece. That's all it is. Where you grow from it, and as long as you're looking to grow off something, you could do anything in the ball python game. That's all. But this is like you take someone to you ever go to a casino and they have one of those buffets where like you could have Mexican food, you could have barbecue, like they have like all the different types. You ain't gonna tell me where to eat at. I'm gonna go eat where I feel like I'm gonna go eat at. You know what I mean? And I just don't understand why anyone else doesn't do that themselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. And I think that comes.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's good banter back and forth in the industry, right? Like the comparison of the two. I just feel like and we don't got to go into it. It just got extreme at one point, right? Because people, like you said, it's big deal. When people think about their pockets being hurt from it, it kind of changes people's mentality and what they say. But that aside, I mean, it's good for the hobby. I mean, it is. It's good for both genes. Both genes got promoted, and they continue to get promoted. So we just keep it, fun, and exciting, and produce certain things and go back and forth. It's fun. We just gotta be adults about it, be men about it, and be adults.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Just be a grown up. Because me and Milo know that we just by saying shit on this show, we could shake a lot of things up. We know. But everything we say are factual. It all comes from what place, and that's inside. We don't sell wolf tickets here. And
it's what you feel. I mean, it's your opinion.
Yeah.
Right? Stand on it.
And this is America. We could do that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Stand on what you believe in, and just be respectful about it. That's all. And we always have been. We've always been grown up about our business and what we choose to enjoy. But like I said, you really can't knock any morph. And I'm being serious. Every morph, in a sense, has potential in the ball python game. Every morph. I don't care what it is.
You just got to make the right animal. It's all about the animal.
Even spider.
I mean, you never know.
Don't do that.
You never know.
Bro, there's people out there. There's people out there who want to bring Spider back. They're legit telling me there's a chance. I swear to God.
Nah.
I don't know how.
It's people making combos that makes the snake not have the wobble anymore, and they go in that direction. I know people too, because of how great of an eater it is, and how it's people doing it. There's people doing it.
I just.
But will it pick up steam? Like, will it actually pick up? Like, will Justin or somebody major?
It had its time, bro.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Now,
Spider? You saying Spider is coming back, bro?
I'm thinking Spider the name. I think the name should come back, but not the snake. I think they should name that snake Wobbler and then just take Spider and someone gift it to a new morph or something.
Spider's is hot though for a name.
Spider's a sick ass name.
I love Spider, but Spider had its time, bro.
I respect, some things just are left to be alone in the dust, unfortunately, right? But
it's a pet snake. It's a pet snake. It's a pet snake.
I want to talk about some stuff that we all know. Say what you want, but it has its place. Pastel, right, has its place, but it don't have its place in Monsoon, right? And that's a big project for you, Monsoon, right? That's another kind of and what are you, other than like Pastel, right? What are some stuff you're avoiding in Monsoon? Because me and Emilio talk about how patterns everything in Monsoon, right? You got to keep that pattern and you're not going to go wrong. But I know there are some things to ruin that pattern if you don't know what you're doing. So I don't know how much thought or how much energy you put in to what you want to go with Monsoon down the road, like even long run stuff. And what are some stuff you want to avoid? Let's hear it.
I have. So most of my stuff is pattern changing and or color. There's no pastel, and I stayed away from stranger. The stranger thing was already there. Again, I'm not. Everyone has stranger in it, so I'm going a different direction, and not necessarily because
you're saying strangers played out.
No, I'm not saying it's played out. I'm saying it's there. So a lot of the animals that have pastel in also has stranger in it. It's like pastel stranger and something or something.
Right.
So I don't want to. I'll let people who've already invested in that figure that part out, and I'll move over this lane. And I have a lot of leopard in mind. Billy is from Mutation Creation. He's already shown what leopard does to Monsoon. It's a dark gene, and it does what it.
I like it.
Why not take what I saw there and just? I don't need to do stranger. I have leopard, so I'm going the leopard route with my Monsoon to make sure the pattern. It enhanced the pattern of Monsoon. So I went the leopard route for darkness.
Yeah, it actually makes the pastel Monsoon look good with leopard in it. So anyone that has pastel Monsoon out there, just work leopard into it, bro. You'll be all right.
Don't put pastel back into it.
Yeah, breed it out. Hopefully it's not in the female, but
yeah.
Hey, shout out to leopard though, man. Like I don't think leopard gets enough credit.
It doesn't.
Leopard is something that is here and help all of us at some point with whatever project. Leopard doesn't seem to go wrong. I feel like
with the base more like leopard sunset. I mean, you see, I picked up that male. I mean, leopard does great in almost everything to me. It helps.
What you think about puzzle?
I like puzzle. I don't like puzzle. I stayed out of the puzzle for Monarch debate.
Okay.
So we got Adam in the chat.
Time out. Who? Okay. Yeah. Who is Adam? I thought there was Sebastian.
It's Adam and Sebastian. That's the team. Adam is the one that's more quiet. He's the one in the shadows like me. Adam.
Why have I not known this?
Because he in the shadows.
Crazy.
That's my guy though. Shout out to Adam.
Maybe Sebastian did tell me. Well, listen, nice to meet you, Adam. Holy shit, I didn't know there was two of you. Yeah. But that's cool. Now I'm gonna be on your bumper, Adam. I'm gonna find out how I can get you on the show, buddy. That's cool. Hey, shout out to Showcase. Listen, I gotta say, man, Showcase was also. I would say Showcase was one of the first people that was like way under my radar. And once I found out about them because of Justin told me look into them. I was like, holy shit, these guys are working with this stuff, and it really blew my mind. How many people, not a lot, but man, there are some silent killers out there who are just slowly just building amazing shit. I remember I was very, very blown away with the heat that Showcase was putting out, man. Shout out to Adam and Sebastian. That's cool. I didn't know there was two of them.
But they got some heat. And I see Clarence on here from more for us. He's on here also. He works for Showcase. He works for Showcase also. He's out here in Maryland. But
more for us. Oh,
it's cool.
Like,
that's cool how he did that.
Yeah. Whoa, I got that. I just think
that's dope.
Yeah, that's
That's like voice for us. It's more for us.
More for us.
Was
crazy.
Dog.
He did it with that one,
dude. Anyways, all right. So Monsoon. Now, also G-Stripe, obviously, is something that you are working with because that's in Kiki, right? Is that right? G-Stripe?
Kiki, yep.
Right? Yeah. What else are you putting with G-Stripe?
That's it. To be totally honest. I don't really... I mean, G-Stripe, is I know some people know, it's pretty dominant, right? It's controls. You can add leopard and all these things to it, and it looks like G-Stripe. Only thing that I've seen that really changed it was the clown, and it still was... the stripe, but it just made it like triangles or something, right? It wasn't a massive change. So it's just the Kiki. I want to see what chocolate Monarch Kiki would look like. So
now, let me ask you that if that's a bust, right? Like let's just say it's a complete L. Are you going to say, all right, I'm good on G-Stripe after that, or are you going to give it another shot with something else?
I'm done.
Okay, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be a bust.
It won't.
But
I'm not a Kiki fan.
Anything's possible.
Straight up.
Anything's possible.
But if it is,
I'm not a Kiki fan, but that animal's
bro, it could be a brick. It could be a brick. That's all I'm saying. And if it's a brick, is he gonna stick it out or not? And obviously he said no.
No, for me, it's not really about like I have a vision of what I want certain things to look like, right? I don't have to force it to look a certain way. And I don't want to force things on people. I'm doing this for me, like to be totally honest. And then if it looks beautiful and other people think it looks beautiful too, I mean, hopefully I have something to be able to share with everybody else.
What you think about zebra? You ever pay attention to zebra?
I do. I'm staying away from it until we kind of figure out, the controversy around it because of the such price difference. I don't really want to do it yet. But I love the idea of like Xanthic zebra or Xanthic lace, white lace zebra or Xanthic Desico zebra, like most people. I love the idea of an actual snake looking like a zebra pattern. But with that price difference, I need to.
You say the price is zebra McKenzie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Striker.
Now, can't RGI fix this problem? And
can.
maybe we'll have
soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is juicy.
You got Striker.
Exciting.
Striker.
That name is trash, bro.
But
the snake looks good. The AK,
it's there.
But what is Striker supposed to be? What else? McKenzie
or zebra.
Yeah.
Shout out to AK Morphs. So that's the first place I seen Striker.
Never heard of it.
She's cool. You never heard of Striker?
No, never.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I heard it once. As far as like what else it's compared to, as far as
more than likely, guys, you know what it is.
Yeah,
it's zebra.
It's all.
McKenzie.
You know what it is.
McKenzie was the beginning, so it's probably.
So it's McKenzie then.
Yeah. But again, not to bash people that's doing this, but I mean it's stuff in everybody's collection that pops out, and they don't know. They think, hey, I got it's like my son. I got this new gene, and they run with it. So it's it's not a knock on anybody that's doing that. We'll all find out that kind of like how Justin got MJ, I mean, we'll find out that it's the same.
Yeah, I don't think it's anyone's fault, honestly.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I agree with that.
All I could picture, guys, is my very first Tinley, and I saw someone dressed as a zebra with a sign over his neck saying, "Ask me about my zebra," and I did. Oh, did I ask? $25K, you know what I mean? I think he was selling babies for, and I was like, "Holy shit!" But God bless him, man. He was pretty solid about it, and now we're talking about it possibly not being.
It looks good. I like, and it's better with pastel.
I like it with OD.
I like it with pastel. You have to have pastel in it. Yeah. I like pastel with puzzle. To get back on the puzzle thing, pastel works with some jeans. Pastel with confusion, like some jeans, pastel works with.
Who has the best example of zebra stuff out there right now that they're showing?
The one who's pushing it the most, I would say.
Who? I don't know who that is.
I think it's Steve.
Steve. Yeah. He's the front man on the zebra stuff. So whatever
I would say showing, so. In my opinion,
I think he bought the collection or something, and then from the guy who had it and got out or something.
Yeah, I don't know the whole backstory, but he's pushing it hard.
Yeah,
and then you got Justin coming with it too. So
right, but then the whole name thing, right? I mean that I feel like that's the only kind of like thorn in the ass when it comes to really working with ball pythons is like honing down what names you should be paying attention to, what names you shouldn't. But with all the extra names going on, do you feel like there should be something that should be done as far as trimming the fat with some of these extra names?
It's coming. I think RGI is going to change the game. And that's what I'm saying. They're going to be like probably one of the biggest things, or if not the biggest thing that happened to this industry since Morphs. I mean, how can they not be? I mean, I think it was probably Morphs, and then it was, these like Clutch and things like that, so we can create a database to actually track these genes, and then that. I mean, it's going to change everything.
I feel like eventually, once we're done shed testing all these new genes, or things that are the same or whatnot, I feel like we'll bring on Darian, and I think we'll put a little pressure on him, and RGI will, and the whole industry will. We'll try to trim. We'll trim this thing down.
The money changes things. With that money flow, that's what's going to change what's expected.
Yeah.
When people start putting that stamp, or RGI comes out with some type of like thing that says it's certified through RGI, I probably just gave them an idea, or something like that on a snake. It comes with a higher fee. The lineage is pure. They did the background on it. It's industry going to change.
Guys, I think the industry as a whole would appreciate, just bringing the names down and just combining. And
I mean, the only ones that won't appreciate it, the ones that are invested in the names that nobody really gives a shit about.
But it all works out, bro.
Yeah,
even if the names are left separate, the prices are gonna work themselves out, right?
Like Hurricane. Look what happened with Hurricane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's people still working it. I'm still working Hurricane. I love it. It's one of my favorite genes.
I thought it came out that Hurricane was the name. Is that not the case? Is Hurricane not the name?
It's all the same though, right? Like
Yeah.
Trick, Hurricane. Trick was a different price. Blitz was a different price, but it's all the same.
Yeah.
But I think most people they went with the higher, the higher valued name,
which is Hurricane. Right.
Yeah.
What I would tell you guys, in my opinion, is the Trick breeders, they got a little shot in the wrist now, or shot of some nitrous on, once everyone knew.
They got helped out. Yeah.
Yeah, they got helped out. Once everyone knows it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It helped out. It helped out Trick, and then guess what? The other genes, they're gonna help out the one that.
Yeah, that's what it says. It's a balance.
Less.
It's a balance.
Yeah.
Balancing the scale. Money,
Yeah.
Money is still exchanging hands, right? So it's keeping the industry going.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
Yep. And
everybody gonna have their turn. We all gonna have our turn.
We're not Trick. Hey, at the end of the day, not every single name will make it to the salad bar. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, this is what, your fourth year? Remind me how everyone know.
Fourth year breeding.
Fourth year.
No, this is my third year for clutches. Yeah. Fifth year in the hobby.
Now, I'm assuming because where you live, you're seasonal, right? So there's going to be a time and place where there's no pairings going on, and you wait for a certain time of the year to pair, or are you pairing all year long? Like, how do you do things?
I mean, because I only have a couple,
right?
And because I love that feeling to get in the clutch and opening the egg, I'm going to try to do it all year long, right? So as I get a snake as she comes up,
right?
Once I get the ultrasound and she's giving me, certain signs, I'll ultrasound her if she has them. I'm not going to skip in and wait till like that season comes. I'm gonna hit her,
right?
And then I guess over time it'll be more of like a spread out thing, because and that's the benefit of not doing like 100 clutches or something like that. It can be spread out through the year, and I have something to look forward to, all year rather than just that incoming or influx of animals that I have to sell and take care of.
So with that being said, like where are you looking at being comfortable having a first time female go for you? Like, do you just go by the age, or do you look at the weight?
I look at the weight. I know a lot of people saying you don't have to do that, but I do. I look at the body composition and weight. So I have like some monsoon stuff that I haven't paired yet. That's almost 2,000 grams.
Ooh,
but I also I'm not in a rush, and I'm looking for the right. I wait and look for the right males, right? If I can't find the animal that I want or the thing that I need for that, I'll skip it. I'll just wait.
Yeah,
Big
man.
Doug, what's that number one monsoon combo you want to hit, in the near future?
The one that'll probably come quickest will be something with Ultramel in it.
With Ultramel or Monsoon?
Ultramel, look at you.
Ultramel will be first.
Whoa, damn.
Hey, I didn't expect that.
So
I don't know. I thought he was trolling us. I was like, wait, what?
No. Showcases is on. They way ahead in the Monarch side, right? So, there's no point again. Like I don't have to go the same direction as everyone else. I like palettes, and they're going to go that direction. If I like something over there, I'll get something from them, right? I'll keep the hobby going, and it'll fit into my collection. But from the palettes and the colors that I see in the snake, the oranges and the yellows, I'll try the other direction and see what happens. If it doesn't go anywhere, then we'll see, because I already have OD in it. So I think the OD will go better with the Ultramel than it will with the Monarch from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I'm working on Ultramel Monsoon, Mojave Ultramel Monsoon in the near future.
Same thing. So see, now we can, I might be able to break bread with you soon, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, that's dope.
Same thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we're talking about this year. You guys can possibly hit Ultramel Monsoon. Both of you.
Visuals hat.
Damn.
A visual monsoon hat for me.
I'm at the beginning stages. It's all good. No hurry.
Of Monsoon Ultramel stuff.
Yeah.
But guys, what about hypo? We haven't talked anything about hypo really. What's going on with the hypo, Belial? What's going on? Are you affiliated with hypo stuff still? I know you talked about it being one of the starters with Blackhead, but what about hypo?
It's there.
Where?
It's about 2 years off from pairing. I need the right male. I don't have the right male to add it to Monarch yet. But it's coming. I have some stuff that could come this year, but it will be hets. I got a bunch of het stuff coming.
So Monarch,
but I got monsoon hypo too with inchy.
Ooh.
So what I want to do is a
Sweet.
super inchy, and I know people, gonna cringe at this, but I like the way butter. I like the what it does with the whites that it creates. It sends the pattern up the sides and creates a white. So what I envision is a super patterned like monsoon. So that's super inchy. The butter bringing the pattern up top, in the monsoon hypo form. Because I like what hypo does to butter. It kind of creates like a bluish, grayish, like tone to it. So I'm trying to incorporate all those, but that can be I'm about 2 years away from those. MJ, thanks for asking. You kind of pulled that out, but they, it's there.
Kyle's in the house.
Yeah, shout out to Kyle Hoffman, who does not like butter, lesser, or coral glow or banana.
I know.
Said, who gives?
But I got my Stranger Hypo stuff from him. So he a cool dude. Shout out to Kyle.
And
He's clowning the names.
I know.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, listen, I mean, what respect to Kyle, because he stands strong about the quality of hypo. There are levels to hypo, and people
That's where I got some from him.
They should pay attention to that. You know what I mean? Like the quality of hypo means everything as far as how you're working hypo. And Kyle has old school ass hypo in his shit. I think hypo you got from Mark Bailey, right, Kyle? I don't know if you correct me if I'm wrong, but Kyle has some like amazing hypo projects.
He does.
So
I got some hypo from him, and early on, when I searching for hypo, I got some from Morris Pythons. He's out here in Maryland too. I'm not sure where he got his hypo stuff from, but his hypo was insane too. So that actually was my first snake that I got when I got into the hobby. Was from him. Was a super inchy butter hypo that I got from him. So most of my hypo collection comes from that female.
Can you guys imagine a DG hypo Mojave monsoon?
Yep.
Fuck.
DG hypo Mojave monsoon. Yeah, I still want to see a DG hypo clown Mojave GHI. Is what I want to fucking see.
Yes, bro. There's so much to do still.
Yeah, so GHI with hypo is amazing too.
I mean, that's one of the things that I will never get old hatching out is just like a GHI hypo, because or GHI Mojave with pastel in that shit. Like it's, oh man, it just smacks. And you want to talk about how pastel doesn't go wrong. Pastel doesn't go wrong in DG clown hypo shit, man. I mean, I think depending on the the quality of the pastel too. I think everything has its level of quality. It really does. Because I have some pastel stuff that I'm not afraid of. Like I mean, obviously I'm going to be mindful what I put it in, but I've showed Emilio some of my pastel shit that ages really, really well. Obviously there's other stuff involved, but say what you want.
Only pastel I have is in lace. I got pastel lace GHI, and that thing is, I don't need DG in that thing is insane with one copy of lace. I really, really, really like lace, man.
Who argued? I think it was you. Emilio argued this. He said DG clown ages better than white lace clown. Wasn't that you who said that, Emilio, or no?
What I said was that in pictures, I still prefer DG clown.
Because
now, when I see it in
with
person,
pastel
I'll
without.
let you know.
No, he's saying
without pastel.
He's saying
just
period.
Straight up next to each other. No, I didn't say period. DG clown next to a white lace clown. I still prefer DG clown in the pictures and the videos I've seen. Now, maybe I'll stand corrected once I see them in person.
No, we're gonna fly to Justin's. I'm gonna correct you immediately. We're gonna go
that white lace. That white lace is
that white lace.
It also does pattern though. I mean, it's both.
Keep the pattern.
Yeah, pattern's different too.
Pattern's everything, player. Come on, especially when it comes to age. Like we're talking adults smacking here, bro.
Also, you guys, let me know what you think here. But white lace with yellow belly hits different.
Absolutely, you have to have it. I mean, yellow belly changes it. Sure.
Yeah, I need to see it.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Different.
Have you seen it? Have you posted it all, Emilio? Because I know you have a white lace yellow belly, but I don't ever see you posting them at all.
Nah, man. He's I'm working on his feeding habits, bro. Is he a
hee?
He's kind of TTD a little bit right now. But yeah.
Hey, that's a good thing. I'm glad you brought that up because another huge thing to consider, right? Like you want to spend money on a powerful male, but that's not always the case. Like as far as him going to come up to the show for you and do what he needs to do. So do you have backup males for your projects or at all, or how do you, go against something like that where a male might not breed and whatnot?
I don't keep. I try to keep two. Like if I breed, I'll hold back 2 males. So one as a backup. But if I need one, I always search Morph Market. Like a lot of people, I mean, at any time I have my phone in my hand, I'm in Morph Market because I don't just keep track of what's out there. I kind of keep track of what people selling because I know if they're selling a certain snake, then they probably got something that I probably need that they held back. So I'll reach out to kind of get an idea of what they're working with. So if in the case I need a male or something happens, I could just hit them up and try to work out a deal or something to get that male.
Yeah.
So I do, but I also, have a tertiary thing just in case if I need to go that route.
And how many clutches have you had so far?
3 and then 5, so 8.
So 8. Okay. Yeah. And have you held back enough of like the same, like the ratios you need? Like you think you're getting enough males and females, or are you getting more of the other heavier?
So the first year I was heavy female, and I was excited because I was early on. That's what you need.
Right.
So, I was like, okay, my incubator dialed in because everybody was talking about the temperature matters and all that. So I was hyped about this year. Man, male. It was all males. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Crushed me. So like the monsoon hypo stuff, I did 2 clutches of that. Both of them was like 7.3. I mean, crushed me. Yeah, crushed me. So it was male heavy. A lot of my Monarch stuff was male heavy. I don't know what happened this year. Just the odds reversed.
Yeah,
they leveled out.
Right. Yeah. At least you didn't get a 5.1.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I've had a couple of those in my time.
Damn, I've never had a ratio like that ever. Yeah. That's wild. Now, I'm curious with those males, all those extra males that you have, are you still sitting on those and raising them up, or have you found homes for them yet?
I'm sitting on some of them, but some of them, I found other people that's in the hobby.
Right.
That's cool people. And, I do a lot of things offline too. Like somebody else in the hobby and they're cool. And, I'm like, here, you can take these because you can do something with them. Especially if you win it, if you hit, then I work with other people. I'm not scared to work with other people for the progress of the hobby and that particular morph or what we're trying to create. I'm not scared of somebody else trading it with me or before me.
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Before we get too further away from what you're trying to hit, sunset. Is there a specific sunset combo you're looking to get? Because I know you love sunset.
Hit, or you mean like purchase?
What are you trying to hit with sunset?
I just want the base sunset Monarch hypo. I mean that sunset puzzle that I saw was insane. So I saw that sunset will retain kind of its pattern in other dominant genes. Yeah. So I want to see what it does with sunset and hypo. Starting
sunset
off,
puzzle
of course,
is a must.
Man, that thing is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that sunset puzzle is next level. I want to say how it ages, but you probably can put pastel in it because pastel works good with puzzle. So you got pastel in your sunset and you don't know what to do with it, I will go puzzle, add puzzle to it and see what happens. But I want to start there. But of course, I could just incorporate into my Monarch clown stuff. It's easy.
Yeah, I think it's a beauty. Also, what we do is like whatever gene doesn't work out in this scenario, you could have something else that could save that gene. And you just go another route. You know what I mean? You just can't be lazy about it. You gotta put some thought into it, right? And
that's why when you say would I keep going with the Kiki if it didn't look good, I'm like, no, I wouldn't. I'll pivot, right? That's when you look at I'm being realistic with myself, right? It's I bet big on this one. It didn't work out. Pivot. I'll hit it somewhere else. Life. I'll pivot.
All right, so check it out. Wrap up question time, and then we're gonna get you with some hot seat questions here. Obviously, I think one of the most important things, other than being able to keep an animal alive, is knowing how to approach certain individuals in the game, because you can only go so far, right? Doing things by yourself, even if you're low key, you got to make connections. I don't give a shit what you say. You ain't gonna do this on your own. So, what's your advice out there for someone out there who in a sense is looking just to build their stuff and be quiet, but, isn't too sure when to go out and actually introduce themselves or maybe even ask for advice or help? Because like I said, cool. You can research all you want, but at some point you're gonna have to talk to somebody, right? So what's your advice for anyone out there who maybe is at that crossroads where they feel like they need to get out there, but they're not too sure for whatever reason, you know?
I would say do it. I mean, it's just like life. You know, a lot of this is networking connections, right? It's a lot of animals that are traded, and a lot of knowledge that is getting from, you know, from having to get the right network, right? So if you can find, you know, the right network, like, you know, Emilio has the V unit. Like, I mean, I love how he has that community. And you have your trap, you know, your trap team, like things like that. I love, right? If you can get attached to somebody like that in your area and build, you know, with the people that live close to you, they can save you a lot of heartache. So I would say don't be shy. You know, most of the people in this hobby, a lot of us might be introverted as well. But one thing for sure, like the animals bring us together, and we're always looking to, you know, to break bread and talk with other people that love what we love. So reach out to people, man. You know. Find a way to find the people in your area, especially some of the OGs. You know, most of them have been doing this for a long time, and you'll find out who you should not necessarily look up to, right, or who you should show more respect to, and who you shouldn't, right? If you reach out to somebody that's been in the game for a while and they kind of shunning you, you know, that tells you a lot. You know, I've had that same reaction with some. Spent money with some and never really got, you know, not really the attention, but the feedback I think I should have gotten. Right. And you know, and some I've gotten more, and I'm like, man, he responded immediately, right? So, and I kind of went in that direction. And that said, JP, you know, who I was talking about, he was one of them, right? I reached out to him for something, and he's, you know, we text all the time, and I never expected him to be as responsive as he is, because not everyone is. So it's people like that, man. It's people out there. Just reach out, and you'll find your people. Showcase that's a good people. Now I know they got some fire, but they're good people, right? And I do that. I mean, that means something more to me before anything. Yeah. It's not about the money for me. It's the people, right? If I'm not getting a good vibe from you, then, you know, I want to be around you anyway. But it's some good people in this hobby for sure.
Yeah, man. Definitely check your surroundings too. You never know who you might be living next to, you know? Yeah. But anyways, cool. All right. What you got, Emilio?
All right. So straight up, man, Maddox Morphs. Where is Maddox Morphs in 5 years? Where do you want to be, bro?
And project wise, I do want to, you know, I hopefully I get some good odds, you know, and I can open tubs, you know, in 5 years, and I'll be feel like I'm looking at a bunch of hats, right? So hopefully I have some great odds. Maybe I'll do a couple more of these, right? I'll get out there a little bit more, and not to get the notoriety, but more, you know, maybe just to do it and learn a little bit. I might learn some things while I've been on this one. But also to get my face out there, let everybody, you know, see kind of who's behind Maddox Morphs and what I'm about, you know, because I'm sure there's like-minded as well, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Now, Maddox is your last name?
It is.
Yeah. Respect. Damn, bro. 2 hours went by quick. I got to say, I appreciate you so much for, you know, first and foremost, coming to the forefront, coming to Trap Talk, coolest reptile network in the world, and getting more of your information out there, because, like, you know, it's very inspiring, you know, just the way you're moving, the way you're growing stuff, and just to kind of see where your mindset's at with the projects you have. Seems like you put a lot of thought into things, bro. So mad respect, but we definitely got to let you go with these hot seat questions before we let you go. All right.
For sure.
All right, guys, do me a favor, get the likes up. This man deserves all the likes he can get, at least 70 likes. Let's get the likes up. Hot seat questions for the homie Belial coming in hot. Belial, don't listen. We gave JP.
Hey, I'm not there. I'm not one of them. We good.
We gave JP a lot of props tonight, but on this part, don't be him right now. Okay, this is where you don't want to be a JP. All right. Hit these questions. Here we go. Hot seat questions coming in hot. Here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Frozen Thought or live?
Live.
8 cut or no cut?
Cut.
On what day?
58, 59.
Favorite incomplete dominant?
Chocolate.
Least favorite incomplete dominant?
Pastel.
Red Chondro Neo or yellow Chondro Neo?
Red.
Ball python wise, pre-first shed meal or post-first shed meal?
Post.
To spray or miss the ball python, or to never spray and miss the ball python?
Spray and miss.
Yay sports or boo sports?
Yay sports.
Favorite sport?
Basketball.
NBA or college?
NBA.
Favorite NBA team of all time?
Oh, man. 76ers.
76ers? All right. Favorite 76ers player of all time?
Come on, Allen.
AI, baby.
Just saying, yeah.
I'm a Laker fan, but I've been an AI fan my whole life, man.
Yeah.
I used to rock his shoes back in the middle
He was true to the game. He was true to who he was. You know, I love it. I love him.
Big flexor or no flexor?
No flexor. No. Shadow.
Favorite genre of music?
Oh man, R&B.
Ooh, yes. Finally. All right. If you had to pick one, Keith Sweat or Babyface?
Come on, baby. I mean, Babyface.
You're gonna pick Babyface over Keith
Got
Sweat?
to.
I guess you're right.
Yeah, you got to.
You
The
can't go wrong.
longevity. You got. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Moving forward. Little word association. Say the first thing that comes to mind. You ready? Milk.
I got a baby right now, so I hesitated, but the first thing that came to mind was, you know, the things that produced for the babies. You know, that's how you know it's real. That's how you know it's real.
It all goes together.
Okay.
Stuck
Okay.
shed.
Boo. I hate water. I mean mist. Yeah.
First time ball python breeder.
Ouch.
Instagram trolls.
Need it.
One recessive you'll never work with.
Spider. No, that's not a recessive. I can't. None. I mean, I would work with all of them. I can't cancel any of them out.
What are you gonna put with albino? I'm just curious.
That's a good question. Blackhead albinos are more white. I don't know. I mean,
Oh my god! All right.
That's good though.
All right, last one before Emilio's. You ready?
Okay.
First thing to come to mind. Coolest reptile network in the world.
Trap talk.
Let's go. The man said it. All right, what you got, Emilio?
All right. Before my hot seats, I came up with another question for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Since the shit's wide open and the Nuggets lost, right? This is a really good question.
All right.
Shit's wide open.
All right.
Who do you guys have winning the NBA title? And then I'll tell you.
Have or want.
Who do you have if you had to bet money? I'll tell you who I got after.
You want to go, MJ? You want me to go?
You go first.
I'm gonna go Timberwolves.
Oh man. I'm gonna have to say.
I can tell you why. Dan.
I don't even like these teams. I hate Celtics. I want to say Timberwolves for sure. I'll say the Wolves. Yeah. I
want the Wolves to win, but if I had to put my money, I'm gonna put it on the Mavericks.
Why?
Why is
Because
that?
of Kyrie and Luka. I think Kyrie's on a redemption. Right now.
For sure. And I'll tell you why I picked mine. Right. LeBron is leaving. I mean, we all agree that he's on his way out, right?
Right.
Who's replacing him?
Yes, sir.
So if it's really about money and it's really about, the future, you got to start building up that next person.
He's young, though.
Young, yeah.
I mean, that's when you start. That's when LeBron started. That's when you got to build up that next person.
That's how
somebody got Pacers in there. I think it's him. I think he got that personality. I like Ant a lot.
All right,
he's
bro.
a dog.
Here we go. One's got to go. Spot nose Monarch clown, Kraken or Sunset puzzle.
Are you killing me? You asked me that just to hit me with this. That's
right.
Dirty. He tricked me. Okay.
Tell you what, the first one ain't going nowhere.
It ain't going nowhere. So Kraken.
Yep, that's what I would have picked too.
Right.
All right.
I would have stayed
This
with
one.
Kraken.
This one might hurt even more, dog. One's got to go. Monarch, Monsoon, or Sunset.
Sunset.
Yeah. Monarch, wait, say that again. Monarch,
Monsoon, or
as
Sunset.
together or Sunset?
The three recessives. One's got to go.
Oh, yeah.
I would have picked that too. We're on the same page, bro.
Bye.
Yep.
Damn. Well.
All right. One more.
Oh, one more. Okay, sorry.
I'm gonna leave the species out because I decided to leave that out. But I'm gonna ask you this: one's got to go because this has been kind of hot lately. Drake, J. Cole, or Kendrick?
Kendrick. What are we talking about?
What? Kendrick won this whole war, dog.
No, you said one got to go. Or who's?
One
I thought
gotta
you.
go.
Oh no,
One's
one.
gotta
Oh
go.
yeah. So you said Drake, Kendrick, or J. Cole? He took himself out. That's not even a question.
Okay, but who would you?
All right. Who'd you rather kick it with? How about that? Are we getting rid of Drake, J. Cole, or
I mean, you
Kendrick
kicking
Lamar?
it with?
In one room? Who got to go? If one person got to go out of those,
So it's not the rap stuff, just as the person that from what we can tell.
yeah,
Is from
but
what we see.
we're judging him off the rap too. Like we're also Drake. I would boot Drake so quick.
Me
That
too,
motherfucker
bro.
would be gone.
See, it depends on where you are in life. If I was younger, you cannot not hang out with Drake because that's where everything is going to be. So it's. But in my older life, then yeah, Drake. He's not on my he's not where I'm at mentally right now. So Drake got to go.
Drake, bye, Drake.
All right. One thing that went hard in the paint tonight was this episode. I appreciate you so much, Belio. We had just shy of 100 people tapped in tonight. So what do you have to say to everyone out there who tapped in and showed you all mad love tonight?
Yeah, I appreciate everyone who did show up. My face isn't really out there, so a lot of people did reach out to me on Instagram and other channels, to say they was going to tap in and support. A lot of big names was in the chat as well. So hopefully they were here for me also. So I appreciate you all. And hopefully, you did get something from this and you learned a little bit more about me. And I do want to also thank, MJ and Emilio for the opportunity. I mean, it's enough said that this does a lot for people, young breeders and, people getting in the game. You give them a platform to put themselves out there. So I don't think y'all get the respect and enough for the hustle that y'all do. This is a hustle. So I appreciate y'all.
Well, thanks for those flowers, man. I appreciate it. And just for anyone out there who wants to be on top of your stuff, Instagram's the most active place you're at social media, right? So
For sure.
Maddox Morphs on IG.
Yeah, Maddox_Morphs at IG.
All right, you can find that link to his IG account in the description below. Give him a follow. Go show him mad love after tonight and give it up for the homie Belio of Maddox Morphs. It's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen.
Great to meet you, dog.
Hey, dude,
hopefully we'll kick it all at a show.
No, for sure.
These days.
Sure.
we'll definitely
I'll be
hang
out
out.
there.
Man. Thank you so much. Have a good night, bro.
All right, gents.
Peace. Great episode, man.
Yeah,
Cool
man.
guy. Definitely cool guy.
Got great plans, bro.
Kind of worried about the Drake thing. But it's all good. What are you gonna do? Oh wait, did he say he'd leave him in the room or not?
Nah, you take him out.
Oh, he did take him. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
if he was younger, the party scene, maybe he'd leave him. But
That's true. I mean, club scene
yeah,
wise,
but this guy's gonna be producing some killer shit. I mean,
Yeah.
he already is, but
but
future's
he's
bright.
not playing, bro. The future talk
Yeah.
for this guy is the real deal, and just to have something as strong as Monarch that has not fulfilled itself yet. Here we go. I'm looking forward to see what it does to Monsoon.
And-
More importantly, Sunset, man. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm looking forward to that.
And you know what I like about him? Conviction.
Yeah,
Like
definitely. He stands
he
tall.
ain't, he ain't swaying. He ain't changing.
No.
This is it. This is what I'm doing.
He has a
That's
direct.
what we need more of out there.
Well,
He's people swaying and shit.
I think the good thing about, not that there isn't more good things about being low key, but the fact that this man has been doing it the way he has, he's very confident. Like there's really no derailing this guy on what he wants to do because he's already been doing his research, raising up his stuff. He's breeding stuff that he knows he wants to work with. You ain't gonna change a guy doing that, man. So
Yeah. And what do you always say? What do you always say? And me too. I'm doing it for me first.
yeah, it's about you first and foremost. It ain't about
Yeah.
nobody else but yourself and the
Yeah.
family first, man.
Yep.
But yeah, great episode. Appreciate you, Emilio. Anything you want to say to everyone who tapped in tonight?
Oh, thank you for all the support, guys, and let's keep it going. Keep growing together, all of us.
All right. Catch you next Monday, big dog. Well, I'm sure I'll be talking to you by tonight or some shit. But please
Have a good
go
night,
give this guy a
everybody.
follow. Billerino Reptile. Subscribe to the V Unit family on Instagram. Shout out to the V Unit family and shout out to you, big dog. Give it up. Big E Top G Villarino. It's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, bro. Have a good night. Thank you so much. And thank you out there for hanging out, tapping in. It was a great episode. Really awesome to talk to Belio and tap in more about the Monarch stuff because huge fan. Just saying, for somebody who's in the stands when it comes to the Monarch game, I'm a huge fan. I'm right there eating my popcorn. Hopefully going to get in the game soon. We'll see. I have to hit up Belil, see what's up. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Be ready tomorrow. All on the Tree Tuesdays with some of the biggest hitters in the Green Tree Python game. It's going to be awesome. All right. 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Wednesday, Cush's Corner. Thursday's Trap Talk with MJ. Friday, thank God it's Colubrids. Saturday's all Tree Monitor Talk. It's the best freaking network out there. What the hell, are you kidding me? It just doesn't stop. 6 days a week. Coolest reptile network in the world, and that's a fact. Have a good night. I'll catch you tomorrow, and thank you for all the love and support. Shout out to my Patreon members. First link in the below. Join the Trap Talk Patreon family today. The coolest Patreon family in the game. Have a good night, and I'm out. Cheers.